Douluo, Star Officials Challenge, everyone is stronger than Tang San. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author, we do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Period. Seeing this scene, Flender and Zhao Waoqi heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the only seedling was saved for the time being. Yu Guan, Gui Mei and others saluted the silver-haired man on the ring. Respectfully shouted in unison, "Greetings, Senior." Such a situation made Shrek Academy teachers and students. The soul masters who rushed over were all dumbfounded, and their jaws dropped in shock. The noble title Douluo actually respects his seniors so much? Lin Feng glanced at them lightly and nodded. Immediately, Yu Guan and Gimri walked up to Yu Zhigang and Liu Erlong. He didn't speak, but invisibly caused great pressure on the two of them. As we all know, the master Yu Zhigang was very aggrieved, but dared not speak out. Just pretend to be calm and act like you don't care. But Liu Erlong next to him didn't think so. As soon as she saw Yu Guan's title Douluo, in an instant, he thought of that shameless woman in Wuhun. Thinking of the picture of Yu Zhigang and each other spending time together, loving each other. Zhigang on the shoulder with his upper hand. The next moment, poor Yu Zhigang spat out a mouthful of blood. The body was unstable and fell to the ground. He looked at Liu Erlong with his hands clasped and coldly staring at him with a dazed expression. "I am habitually afraid to lower my head." He stood up unsteadily, leaned over and asked in a low voice, "Erlong, what's wrong with you? You're so angry all of a sudden." Liu Erlong glared at him and said coldly, "The clothes you are wearing today are too ugly, it affects my mood." The corner of Yu Zhigang's mouth twitched violently, wanting to cry but not crying. He opened his mouth to say something, but in the end he could only swallow it back. Otherwise, he will be cleaned up by the female Tyrannosaurus. Not far away, Flender saw how pitiful his good brother was. Can only cast a sympathetic look from afar. Over the years, what he is most grateful for is maintaining a good friend relationship with Liu Erlong. At least he doesn't have to bear Yu Zhigang's pain. Looking at Liu Erlong, knowing that she is safe is enough. This kind of female Tyrannosaurus, I am afraid that no man can really surrender. On the ring, Liena looked at the silver-haired man in front of her. Take a deep breath. Take out the lucky golden feather and say, "Senior, I want to accept the Star Officials Challenge now." Lin Feng nodded and with a gentle he said, "Okay, now you input soul power into Lucky Zingayu. I started the Star Official Challenge for you." Liena nodded heavily, a smile appeared on her small face. Input soul power towards the lucky golden feather in his hand. Suddenly, Jinyu glowed with a dazzling golden light. Flying into the air, the word attack appeared weakness, so she was so unlucky that she started the attack challenge. Liena looked quietly at the guy in front of her. "Thanks to myself staying up late last night to make so many pastries. I ate all of it just now and didn't know how to open the back door. Even the same spiritual challenge as yesterday is fine officials." Liena's D rating rewards 30,000 year spirit bones. It's the master's turn to challenge under the arena. Everyone saw Liena launching the attack challenge. All were very surprised by this. 3 years ago at the Continental Elite Soul Master Competition, Liena showed off her mighty fox spirit. The incomparable charming field control ability amazed the audience. The Golden Generations announced by Wuhun. In addition to its own superb charm control ability, he can also perform martial arts fusion skills with his elder brother Ziyu. The power is terrifying, and this is also one of her unique skills. However, Liena's own charming soul ability. It has a control effect and cannot directly cause damage. Martial soul fusion skills need to be used together with brother Ziyu was extremely unlucky, and many people were going to see her make a fool of herself. Liu Erlong looked at the word attack that Lucky Zingayu displayed. Sneered and said, "Liena, it seems that you are the same as your teacher," said. He hurriedly covered his mouth, just in time to be glared at by Yu Guan, who was throwing an angry look at him. He could only look to the side with his arms around him. Yu Zhigang stood quietly, not daring to move. Cold sweat dripped down his forehead, but luckily the female Tyrannosaurus Rex didn't take it out on him. On the ring, Lin Feng looked at Liena. "Attack challenge, now launch your strongest attack, just attack Zingayu." Liena felt unwilling, and asked cautiously, "Senior, can you give me another challenge, just the same spiritual challenge as yesterday?" Attacking is my weakness, please, senior. Okay. As soon as she finished speaking these coquettish words, the mouth corners of thousands of people in the arena twitched, replacing the star official with you? And can you talk nicely? Why is it suddenly clamped? Sexy fox, shameless, you actually seduced a man in broad daylight, just like Bibi Dong. The more Liu Erlong thought about it, the angrier he became. When thinking of Bibi Dong, he couldn't hold back and punched Yu Zhigang again. Erlong, who would have thought that Liu Erlong put his hands on his hips and said coldly, Zhigang, I told you that your clothes today are too ugly, it affects my mood, you still don't change your clothes, do you? I'm so mad, Yu Zhigang. At this moment, 10,000 wild horses galloped past his heart, wanting to cry but no tears. But I can only endure it, I have more or less gotten used to it over the years. Period. When staying with a female Tyrannosaurus, it is normal to have some injuries on your body every day. Lin Feng looked at the delicate Liena in front of him. Especially her slightly flushed cheeks. The pink color that appeared in the eyes made the whole person more beautiful and moving. For a moment, Lin Feng was amazed. Officials, am I that kind of person? The types of star official challenges are all random and cannot be changed. If you don't want to accept the challenge, come down for me. Let Yu Zhigang come up to accept the challenge. Lin Feng broke into cold sweat. The image he created with great difficulty was almost ruined. If you expose your sense of need so quickly, you will only be passive later. Liena was quite frightened. She didn't expect the other party to be so angry. Hastily apologized and said excitedly, Senior, forgive me. Senior, forgive me. It's all my fault. I shouldn't use tricks on seniors, shouldn't be making those rude demands. I'm going to start the challenge right now. That's the beginning. She didn't dare to do it again, and suddenly woke up. After all, the other party is aloof, an existence beyond his reach. Before that, I thought about picking up this man. It was wishful thinking. Liena quickly adjusted her mentality, taking out a bloody dagger in his hand. He jumped up, attacked Lucky Xingyu with the most ruthless moves. Everyone in the arena was very satisfied with Lin Feng's upright attitude. If even the star officials were under the influence of Liena, then the star official challenge will belong to Wuhun Temple in the future. What will other forces do? The gap is definitely getting bigger with the ambition of Wuhun Temple. War will definitely start in the end. At that time, the people in the mainland will be in dire straits, and there will be many wars. Under everyone's gaze, the bloody dagger in Liena's hand slashed heavily on Lucky Xingyu's mind. Character, Liena, attack damage 5423, rating, D, reward, a 30,000-year-old three-legged red fox left arm soul bone. Liena put away the bloody dagger. Before coming to the futon, he asked cautiously, Senior, I have completed the attack, not sure what rating I got. At this moment, the hearts of thousands of people under the ring were all pulled. Expecting and curious, Lin Feng looked up at the nervous Liena, and said, Liena, congratulations on your 5,423 points of damage. The damage was a little higher than the day before yesterday. Rated E. This is your reward, a 30,000-year-old three-legged red fox left arm spirit bone. Immediately, a white light appeared in his hand. Flying in front of Liena, it turned into blue spirit bone in an instant. There was a burst of uproar under the arena. Unexpectedly, Liena got a 30,000-year-old soul bone after only getting a grade of D. You know, in Douluo Continent, soul rings and spirit bones are the most important to a soul master. Get a piece of his own soul bone. One can imagine how rare and precious soul bones are. What's more, what Liena got was a soul bone that was 30,000 years old. The value is immeasurable. For a while, everyone was more eager to accept the challenge of star officials. It's a pity that lucky stars and feathers are hard to find, full of helplessness. Liu Erlong looked at the spirit bone held by Liena on the ring, snorted unconvinced and said, Zhigang, wait a while and get me a soul bone. The year must exceed 30,000 years. Liu Erlong's man can't be looked down upon. On the surface, Yu Zhigang patted his chest and said it was fine. In fact, I have no confidence at all, and the pressure is huge. Not to mention what rewards you will get in the end. If you are unlucky, start the attack challenge. He just disappeared. Because Luo Sanpao is not aggressive. Suddenly, Yu Zhigang discovered a terrible thing. Although I have the qualifications to accept the star official challenge, but whether it is attack, defense, or other possible challenges, he's not good at any of them, except for one mental challenge. The corner of wisdom is one of the golden iron triangle. Yu Zhigang's level of spiritual power is still a little level. God bless, let me start the spiritual challenge. It's a rare opportunity to accept the Star Officials challenge. I must grasp it well, and I must not miss the opportunity to change my life against the sky. Uzziah Gang prayed in his heart, trying to keep calm. But the hands behind his back trembled uncontrollably. On the ring, Liena excitedly put away the spirit bone. Facing the man in front of him, he bowed deeply. He happily shouted, "Thank you, Senior." After that, he trotted down the ring, surrounded by Yu Guan and Gimli. Lin Feng couldn't help breathing quickly because when Liena bowed, the neckline is gone, revealing some white and tender skin. He coughed lightly and sat upright, looking down at Uzziah Gang. Majestic said, "Uzziah Gang, it's your turn, now come up to accept the Star Officers Challenge." P.S. The fourth update, April 4th. Chapter 23. Uzziah Gang wanted to turn Xianyu over, but he couldn't get off the tiger, which aroused public outrage and was struck by lightning following Lin Feng's words. It fell. All eyes in the audience focused on Uzziah Gang. Uzziah Gang is the national teacher of today's Dao Empire. 3 years ago, because of leading the Shrek 7 Monsters team at the Continental Elite Soul Master Competition, Empire headed by Yu Guan and Gigi, the Wuhun Temple is titled Elder Douluo. They all knew what happened to Uzziah Gang and Bibi Dong back then. I hate such scum and scum. If it wasn't for Bibi Dong, she would never let it go. Uzziah Gang had been hacked to pieces long ago, and his corpse was left in the wilderness. Liena stared at Uzziah Gang coldly. Over the years, she occasionally saw teacher Bibi Dong. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Period. Alone, secretly heartbroken, washed his face with tears. I can't imagine the teacher at that time. Exactly how deeply he was hurt by Uzziah Gang, that bastard. Not to mention that this guy is still with his cousin. It is really devoid of human nature and against the law of nature. Such a waste, despicable villain. It's ridiculous to be able to thrive in the Heaven Dao Empire. Wuhun Temple, his face is a bit ugly, don't overdo it. A hero doesn't suffer from immediate losses. Let's wait and see. 30 years in Heaven, 30 years in Hexi. Uzziah Gang, will definitely seize this opportunity. Change fate against the sky. Salty fish turnover. Abba, Cheyenne long turnover. Uzziah Gang proudly raised his chin and walked towards the ring. Hold your head high. Your hands on your back. Those who didn't know the posture thought he was some peerless master. Liena noticed that Liu Erlong was staring at her with hostility, and ignored her. It's just a contra. Even the blue lightning overlord dragon sect behind her. There's nothing to be afraid of. This is the confidence and strength of Wuhun Temple. Follow Uzziah Gang onto the ring. All the teachers and students of Shrek Academy burst into warm cheers. Flender pushed his gold-rimmed glasses. Excitedly said, "Zio Gang, you must seize the opportunity. Lucky Xingaiu is extremely precious. Don't make trouble. There's only one chance." Liu Erlong came in front of Flender. Couldn't help staying on Liu Erlong for a while longer when the female Tyrannosaurus is not angry. Not only the appearance is online, but the temperament is also good. As long as she doesn't get angry and run away, she can say anything. Uzziah Gang stepped onto the ring and came to the futon. First, he tidied up his clothes. He cleared his throat and said, "Uzziah Gang, I'm at Senior. I'm here to accept the Star Officials Challenge." Lin Feng raised his eyebrows and looked at Uzziah Gang in front of him. This guy is crazy. It turned out to be I have met, instead of the honorific CU, this is treating two people as equals. You, Uzziah Gang, are also worthy? Lin Feng's face obviously turned cold. Said without expression, "Input your soul power into Lucky Xingaiu. I will start the Star Official Challenge for you." In good faith but was treated with indifference. I was very upset, but for the reward of the Star Officers Challenge, I endured it. Yes, Senior. Uzziah Gang tried his best to squeeze out some smiles in response. Enter the soul power into the lucky star feather in your hand. The star feather glowed with a dazzling golden light and flew into the air. The word defense appeared. Challenge. Now you immediately condense the strongest defense on your body. After a minute, Xingaiu will land a thunderbolt to attack you. During this process, the more thunder your defense can withstand, the richer the reward will be. Uzziah Gang didn't have the heart to listen to these words. Eyes wide open staring at the sky, the word defense appeared in golden light from Lucky Star Feather unexpectedly. The challenge open was not a spiritual challenge. His martial spirit, Luo Sanpao, doesn't have any defensive attributes at all. Although he ate the immortal medicinal herbs Tang San gave, his spirit power broke through the 30 ranks. But in the past 3 years, he has only cultivated to level 36 Soul Master. How to deal with the challenge of defense today? Under the ring, Flender, Liu Erlong, Zhao Wuji and others. After seeing Yu Xiaogang's defense challenge, the faces of several people became extremely ugly. They were all too familiar with Yu Xiaogang's situation, so they shook their heads helplessly. Those Shrek Academy teachers and students who don't know Yu Xiaogang well. At this time, the crowd was furious and cheered. Master, come on. Master is mighty. Master, hurry up and accept the challenge, and get C+, B+, A+ rating rewards. The voices getting louder and louder. Infected all the Soul Masters who came to watch. Everyone is looking forward to Yu Xiaogang's next challenge. Liena, Yugwen, Gimei, and the others sneered. They knew exactly how much Yu Xiaogang weighed. A trash with a mutated martial soul. Still dreaming of getting a C+, B+, A+ rating? It's like a fool's dream. On the ring, Yu Xiaogang watched Shrek teachers and students in a state of high enthusiasm. That deafening, blood-boiling shout. It fell on his heart like a heavy hammer. Endless pressure hit like a tide. The pressed Yu Xiaogang's face turned slightly pale. If you don't get a high rating reward, you won't be able to get down here. I am afraid that the image established in the past 3 years will collapse. On one side is the life and death crisis of being struck by thunder. On one side is the face and image, both the palm and the back of the hand. Yu Xiaogang really has a hard time making a choice, and it's hard to get off a tiger. He could only look at the silver-haired man on the futon and plead, Senior, defense is my weakness. I really can't accept this challenge. Can you change it for me? I need a mental challenge. This passage made the audience instantly quiet. Unexpectedly, Yu Xiaogang, who is the national master of the Heaven Dao Empire. It is surprising that a request to change the challenge will be made. Liena, the saint of Wuhun Temple, proposed a replacement challenge. It made the seniors angry. Yu Xiaogang still did this despite having learned from the past. Academy fell silent with a puzzled look on his face. He looked at their respected master Yu Xiaogang in the arena in bewilderment. Flender, Liu Erlong, and Zhao Wuji had extremely ugly expressions on their faces. They could understand Yu Xiaogang's reluctance to accept the defense challenge. This can give up the opportunity to challenge. Why make such an absurd request to replace the challenge? Really discredited Shrek Academy. How will it end now? Liena sneered and shook her head. She was in a good mood. She winked at Yugwen. Period. The other party laughed knowingly and said, what a Shiandao Guoshi, what a Yu Xiaogang. Fortunately, you still represent the face of the Heaven Dao Empire. It's actually when accepting the Star Officials challenge. Ignore the rules and make such a rude request. I hope that Senior will punish Yu Xiaogang severely, otherwise, more and more people will definitely stand up in the future. Provocation of the authority of the predecessors. Ghost and Ghost Leopard Douluo joined in, pushing the emotions of others together. Liu Erlong and Flender, Zhao Wuji were extremely worried. Yugwen talked all about this guy. Whoever dares to come out and speak for Yu Xiaogang. It is to provoke the seniors, and the consequences will be disastrous. Those Soul Masters who came to watch were gloating. Waiting to see Yu Xiaogang's jokes and Shrek Academy's jokes. After all, they were all charged 10 gold soul coins as an admission fee after entering the gate of Shrek Academy. In my heart, I have never been comfortable, and I have always held grudges. On the stage, Yu Xiaogang's face changed drastically. Hastily bowed deeply, begged and said, Senior, Yu Xiaogang didn't intend to offend. A ruthless look appeared in his eyes. Well, Yu Xiaogang, you still want to kidnap me morally? At this time the next moment, Lin Feng stretched out his hand to condense the barrier behind Yu Xiaogang and grabbed him into the air. Immediately afterwards, Lucky Xingaiu had a minute of brewing time. A sharp thunderbolt flew out, slashed across the sky and bombarded Yu Xiaogang. P.S. The first change, January 4th. Chapter 24. Yu Xiaogang failed the challenge, disfigured and deprived of his martial soul, and was spurned by everyone on the ring. Yu Xiaogang was bound by a barrier. Crawled into the air at the same time. He was also struck by the thunder that Lucky Xingaiu just fell, accompanied by a burst of crackling. A blue light glowed on Yu Xiaogang's body. There was a pungent burning smell, which spread with a breeze. Then, he fell heavily on the ring. His whole body was pitch black, and he was severely burned. Face, in particular, was completely disfigured. As ugly as it gets, it's disgusting. The breath on his body was even weaker, dying. As if dying at any moment. Such a sudden change made everyone stunned in the audience. Yu Zhigang acted boldly and provoked the authority of his predecessors. Unexpectedly, the seniors have not yet punished severely of the dignified Heaven Dao Empire. It's so weak that it can't even bear a defensive thunder. Because it was in Wuhan City yesterday. Feng Zai Ocean from the Kamikaze Academy with only level 52 soul power. He is a battle soul master of the assault department. Forcibly resisting the 2 defense thunder attacks. And even if he was injured a little afterwards, he was far less embarrassed than Yu Zhigang. Such a scene made the soul masters who were watching jokes in the audience. One by one laughed sarcastically, shaking like thunder. It fell into the ears of all Shrek Academy teachers and students, extremely ear-piercing. They respected the master Yu Zhigang in the past. It all turned into disgust at this moment. Zhigang, under the arena, Liu Erlong saw Yu Zhigang who was seriously injured and unconscious. Sad tears flowed from the corners of his eyes. But she was quickly stopped by the ring defense formation but Zhu Daoluo Yuguan rushed over in time suppressing her with soul power. He snorted coldly, Liu Erlong, the reason why Yu Zhigang fell into this field, it's all his own fault, don't you want to offend senior too? Hearing these words, Liu Erlong backed away. Looking at the teachers and students of Shrek Academy behind him. In the end, he could only retreat with regret. Flender's face was serious, and he walked over to comfort him and said, Erlong, don't be too sad, Zhigang suffered flesh injuries, not serious, it's okay for us to treat him later, the most important thing now is not to offend seniors, you can't make fun of the safety of the entire Shrek Academy teachers and students. Liu Erlong raised his head to look at Flender, and saw Zhao Wuji walking towards him. What to do? Liena looked at the embarrassed Yu Zhigang on the ring. I feel very relieved for the teacher. As the saying goes, the authorities are obsessed, but the bystanders are clear. Anyone can tell that Yu Zhigang doesn't love Bibi Dong. Only Bibi Dong was drunk alone, unwilling to accept the truth. Liena had long been unhappy with Yu Zhigang, and wanted to kill the wicked man to avenge her teacher. It's a pity that Yu Zhigang is the national teacher of the Heaven Dao Empire. The position is high and the weight is great. If he was killed easily, it might arouse the anger of Emperor Zhu Yi. Although Wuhun Tian is not afraid of the Heaven Dao Empire. But now is not the best time to start a war. Now, Liena has a plan. That is to completely ruin Yu Zhiagang's reputation and be cast aside by others. The day when he is deprived of the position of Heaven Dao National Master is the day of his death. A sneer at the corner of his mouth, he said, Yu Zhiagang's defense challenge failed, being attacked by 0 thunderbolts, there are no ratings and rewards. Lin Feng didn't expect that this guy would feel sick to himself as soon as he came up to accept the challenge from the star official. It really showed the shamelessness to the fullest. Punishment of Yu Zhiagang is inevitable. Otherwise, someone will definitely continue to test the rules in the future. Request to change the challenge type or something else. Of course, Lin Feng also understood the little girl who Liena let Yuguan and others fan the flames all the time. It happened that he lacked the opportunity to torture Yu Zhiagang openly. Lin Feng said solemnly, Yu Zhiagang, ignore the rules of the star official's challenge, arouse public outrage, now deprive him of his martial spirit, as a punishment. Then, his right hand swung out. A mysterious energy turned into a large transparent hand. Probe into Yu Zhiagang's body in a coma. Deprive a weak martial soul in an instant. Yu Zhiagang was awakened by the heart-piercing pain. Rolling on the spot and screaming again and again. Such a hoarse voice made people shiver. It made the audience quiet again. Period. Everyone looked at the silver-haired man on the ring. Exuding a strong sense of fear and awe. Everyone has overlooked that the senior is not only a distinguished star official. In addition to starting the Star Official Challenge and giving out rewards to those who have qualified for the Star Official Challenge, Zhiagang Flender rushed over immediately catch the good brother and put it on the ground. Looking at this time beyond recognition, disfigured. The martial spirit in his body was forcibly taken away, and he was dying. My heart was in a panic, very uncomfortable, but for some reason, he secretly breathed a sigh of relief. My whole face was extremely ugly. How ugly is Yu Zhiagang? In that moment, I suddenly felt extremely sick in my heart. Even the tears that flowed frantically from the corners of his eyes for a second almost dried up. Zhiagang, why are you hurt like this? Your face, vomit. Liu Erlong really couldn't hold back. His felt throat hot, but after seeing Yu Zhiagang looking at him excitedly, I could only swallow the contents of my throat in pain, and my stomach felt hot. Xiao Gang, don't worry, you'll be fine, you're bound to get better. Boss Fu and I are here, and everyone is here, we will always advance and retreat with you. Liu Erlong squatted beside Yu Xiaogang, speaking softly. Just smelling the pungent smell of burning on the man's body, he frowned. Flender heard Liu Erlong's words. There was a tangled meaning in the eyes, and finally turned into a ruthless color. He and Yu Xiaogang are indeed good brothers for many years, but Yu Xiaogang offended his predecessors, which is tantamount to making an enemy of the entire Soul Master world in order to obtain the qualifications and rewards of the Star Official Challenge in the future. All forces will definitely draw a clear line with Yu Xiaogang and target Shrek Academy. Xiaogang, don't worry, no matter what you become in the future, we're all good brothers, but I am the Dean of Shrek Academy. I must consider and be responsible for all the teachers and students, so, good brother, I'm sorry, Flender sighed softly, making a decision in his heart. As a result, around the square, all the teachers and students of Shrek Academy fell silent. Everyone is extremely full of Yu Xiaogang, and even needs to describe it as hatred. Actually, because of his own selfish interests, he disregarded countless teachers and students in the academy and ridicule. The teachers and students of Shrek Academy lowered their heads. Angry and unwilling, they wanted to rush up and tear Yu Xiaogang into pieces. Wuhun Temple and others headed by Liena. Seeing Yu Xiaogang end up in such a miserable end and situation, there was a knowing smile on everyone's face. And Liena looked shyly at the futon in the center of the ring. That handsome and silver elegant-haired man deprived of his martial soul looks like all those pastries that stayed up late last night were worth it. You need to prepare a little more later. Suddenly, Flender came to the Shrek Academy team with a sad face. He said loudly, I, Flender, now declare as the principal of Shrek Academy, expel Yu Xiaogang from Shrek Academy. From now on, any of his personal actions have nothing to do with Shrek Academy. For a moment, thousands of people in the audience were stunned. Good guy, sure enough. Good brothers are used to poke. Liu Erlong was slightly astonished and furious, but it wasn't until she questioned Flender why he was so ruthless. All the teachers and students of Shrek Academy burst into thunderous applause. There were also excited and high-spirited shouts. Master Dean Shangming, Liu Erlong was stunned for a moment when he saw this scene, and the other soul masters in the audience didn't react. And Yu Xiaogang lying on the ground dying, he wanted to jump up and beat up Flender, a heartless guy, but he couldn't even move his body, and shed tears of sadness. P.S. The second update, February 4th. Chapter 25. Yu Xiaogang was expelled from the academy and was abandoned by Emperor Zuyi. Witnessing the birth of the B+ rating award together on the ring, Lin Feng was quite surprised. He never thought of it. Flender will choose to lead Shrek Academy and Yu Xiaogang to draw a clear line. Fuck, this is a bit outrageous. Isn't the original book saying that Flender and Yu Xiaogang are brothers who have died? This expulsion from Shrek Academy really shocked everyone. Thinking of this, Lin Feng closed his eyes and continued to meditate in a daze. Those who should accept the Star Officials Challenge today have all challenged them, and they have to wait for tomorrow under the ring. Liu Erlong came to his senses, walking towards Flender angrily. He raised his fist and questioned, Boss F, Xiaogang is in critical condition now. How can you make such a ruthless decision at such a time? Are you sorry for Xiaogang? I really misjudged you. I will destroy him. At the same time, a powerful contra breath spread. Cover the area where all the teachers and students of Shrek Academy are located. At this moment, the roar of the blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex sounded in the air. For a moment, all Shrek teachers and students lowered their heads in fear. His body was shivering from being suppressed, and he quickly shut up. Shrek Academy, I have to be responsible to the college and consider the safety of all teachers and students. It was originally Xiaogang who offended Senior for his own self-interest. Next, he will definitely be targeted by the forces of the entire Soul Master world. Do you want Shrek Academy to pay for his actions and suffer together with him? Erlong, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Flender turned around with a dark face, and pushed his gold-rimmed glasses by the way. He secretly wiped the tears from the corners of his eyes. Liu Erlong looked at Flender's indifferent back. Then he looked at the teachers and students of Shrek Academy in front of him. He smiled miserably and said, Boss F, I respect your decision, but I will never abandon Xiaogang. I will take care of his recovery and find a way to regain his martial soul. Liu Erlong exhaled deeply, feeling extremely heavy in his body air and leave here. All the teachers and students of Shrek Academy saw this scene with complicated expressions. But it was also a relief. Yu Xiaogang's abandonment was all his own fault, and he didn't deserve sympathy. Period. At this time, From the gate of Shrek Academy, a royal motorcade slowly approached. Everyone followed the prestige, and they were all surprised. The person sitting in the carriage is the Crown Prince of Heavendao Empire, Zhu King. On the white horses on the left and right is Lin Feng, the suzerain of the 7 treasure-glazed tile school. And Sword Douluo Chenzin Unison, meet His Royal Highness the Prince, greetings to Sect Master Ning, and His Majesty Sword Douluo, who Liena led Yuguan and others to greet her, and saluted, who Liena, pay homage to His Royal Highness the Crown Prince. I've seen Sect Master Ning, Sword Douluo, salute, meet His Royal Highness the Prince, greetings to Sect Master Ning, and His Majesty Sword Douluo. Flender and Zhao Waoqi bowed cautiously, and then stood beside them respectfully. Liena straightened her body and said, His Royal Highness is laughing, who Liena is not talented, and today she is qualified to accept the Star Officer's challenge. It's a pity that I only got a C rating and got a 30,000-year-old soul bone, compared to yesterday's God-given 100,000-year spirit. It's far worse. Ring. As soon as these words came out, the atmosphere in the audience became weird. Having qualified for the Star Officials Challenge for 3 consecutive days, I am already envious of others. A 30,000-year soul bone is indeed not as good as a 100,000-year soul ring bestowed by gods, but it is also extremely precious. Everyone understood that Liena was intentionally eccentric challenge. Congratulations. What about the national teacher? Ning Fengzi and Chen Xin looked at each other. They both felt that something was wrong. Liena smiled coldly, and looked at Flender next to her playfully. Zhu King then looked over and asked, Dean Flender, where's the national teacher at this time? Has he started to accept the Star Officer's Challenge? What rating and reward did you get in the end? Suddenly, Flender broke out in a cold sweat and said, reporting to His Royal Highness, Xiao Gang has accepted the challenge of the Star Official. The one that can be opened is the Defense Challenge, which he is not good at, so I asked the seniors to change the challenge. Who would have wanted to offend senior because of this, and end up deprived of his martial soul? Seriously injured and disfigured, now Xiao Gang is sent for treatment, is really slapping the face of the Xiandao Empire, not taking the Xiandao Empire seriously. Zhu King showed a bit of resentment. He looked at the arena exuding mysterious power in the distance. Instant trembling. His real identity is Jinring Su, the young master of Wuhun Palace. Possessed the strongest god-level martial soul of the angel family, the Seraph martial soul. But at this moment Wuhun felt fear. To my father, I hope the college will take good care of the national teacher first. Flender bowed and said, of order, Your Highness the Crown Prince, nodded staring at the silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the ring. His white eyebrows frowned. At this time, Liena smiled and said, His Royal Highness, it's time tonight. That's when I top the Star Officer's Challenge attack list for the 3rd day. Second place will be rewarded with a B+ rating. If His Royal Highness is interested then, Ning Fengzi, Chen Xin's face was slightly congealed. They have heard a little about the ratings and rules of the Star Official Challenge. And they are secretly envious from the Prince Zhu King below about you. Xiao Gang, the national teacher, was punished, deprived of his martial soul and disfigured. Instead of being furious, Long Yan said majestically, the national teacher wants to maliciously tamper with the rules of the Star Officer's Challenge, and he will be punished. This matter is his personal behavior, and has nothing to do with the imperial family of the Heavendao Empire. King, you must rush to Shrek Academy tonight, and see what kind of B+ rating reward you can get from the Holy Maiden of the Spirit Hall. This Star Officials Challenge is mysterious and unpredictable, and it can provide great opportunities for others. If the royal family can make friends with that person, they will definitely get great benefits. Also, send someone to watch over the Spirit Hall, especially Liena. She has been qualified to accept the Star Officer's Challenge 3 times in a row. There is definitely a problem, perhaps from Liena. We may not be able to find a way to be qualified to accept the Star Officials Challenge. Nodded and replied, Father, please rest assured, I understand what to do. Beside, Ning Fengzi and Chen Xin looked indifferent. Since ancient times, there is nothing wrong with the saying that accompanying a king is like accompanying a tiger unexpectedly. Once something happened to Xiao Gang, Emperor Zhu would give up on him and their 7 treasure-glazed tile school. If something happens to them one day in the future, won't they also be? Late at night, approaching midnight, the number of people gathered in the entire square has already exceeded 10,000. Everyone is waiting and wants to witness the birth of the B+ rating reward. Finally, the time has come. Liena was embraced by Yu Guan and Ghost Zhu King. Ning Fengzi, Chen Xin and others rushed over in time. The sky, there are 3 challenging golden monuments. There are 3 types of attack. defense and spirit. At this moment, on the attack challenge golden monument, the first place is Ma Hongjin, the second place is Liena, and the three words Liena turned red, and behind it, a countdown of more than 10 seconds appeared. The other two challenge gold monuments, the first place in the category of defense was occupied by Feng's Ocean. In the dark night sky, the attack challenged the golden monument. The dazzling golden light shines, reflecting the night like day. Shocked the entire Douluo continent. Hundreds of millions of lives are witnessing this moment. The golden light fell down and covered Liena's body eyes. The majestic voice spread like a macro and said, Liena won the second place in the attack challenge golden monument, and now distribute B+ rating rewards. Then, in his hand, a purple light cluster flew out. When it came to Liena, it turned into a mangrove tree. It exudes a 10 strong mysterious power, and there are fruits on it. Lin Feng's voice continued to sound. Liena, reward for B+ rating, can choose the specific attribute direction of the reward by yourself, in martial soul, soul power, and aptitude, attack, defense, soul bone, longevity, spirit, appearance, gender. Choose one of these 10 directions. You have a minute to choose. After Lin Feng finished speaking, he saw the mangroves in the night sky. A defensive and protective enchantment was raised, and the golden light soared into the sky, extremely resplendent. Such an incredible picture attracted tens of thousands of people in the entire square. They all showed shock and excitement expressions. The attack in the sky challenged the golden monument. Both the mangrove and the mangrove glow with golden light, which makes people subconsciously feel surrendered. Especially the 10 fruits that grow on the mangrove tree. It seems to have a fatal attraction, which affects everyone's heartstrings. I didn't expect that the reward for rating B+ would be able to choose the direction freely. Everyone stared enviously at Liena, who was floating in front of the red tree. Curious what choice she will make under the arena, Zhu King looked up at the fruits on the red tree. The seraph god-level martial spirit in his body was deeply attracted. She stared at Liena excitedly, wishing she could choose the reward instead of her. Titled Douluo elders such as Yuguan and Ghost 100,000 year soul rank from the gods yesterday. It's 3 small ratings higher, and it's impossible to imagine how heaven-defying the reward will be. The 7 treasure glazed tower martial soul in Lin Feng's body. Attracted by a certain fruit on a mangrove tree. His face was full of longing and longing. Intuition told him that if he could get the Wuhun fruit, it will definitely solve the defect of the 7 treasures. Glazed tile pagoda Wuhun sword Douluo Shenzhen also looked at a certain fruit on the red. His 7 killing sword Wuhun is the number 1 attacking Wuhun in the mainland. Raising the sword with murderous aura, domineering and fierce. But it also has a fatal flaw. That is, martial souls are cursed and can only be passed down in one line. The clear sky hammer is no better than the 7 kill sword in terms of spirit quality. Why he won the title of the world's number 1 martial soul. Shenzhen was more or less unwilling. It can be said that it is not just the tens of thousands of people in the square. Attracted by the 10 fruits of the golden mangrove tree in the sky. The entire Heaven Dao city, the entire Heaven Dao empire. Even the entire Douluo continent, whether it's humans or soul beast star officials challenge Shrek Academy. At the square Liena was surrounded by divine golden light. In front of her is the red tree protected by a defensive barrier. The 10 fruits produced all release different auras, each has a fatal attraction for her. Appearance, this direction seems to be pretty good. Liena smiled. Which woman doesn't love beauty? But soon she reacted. He shook his head vigorously to stay awake, excitedly said, Liena, B+ rating rewards are very rare. You can't easily waste this opportunity. Then, choose the direction of Wuhun. Liena's pride has always been Liena's spirit. It is also where she feels the most inferior because apart from the charm ability, there is no other attack ability. He can only perform martial soul fusion skills with his elder brother Ziyu. Liena is a person with a strong temper. I am very envious of Tang San having a blue silver grass to control the spirit. There is also a second martial soul that attacks the clear sky hammer powerfully. Liena's gaze became serious, and she looked towards the ring, shouted, Senior, I've made a decision. Reward for choosing the direction of the martial soul. On the stage, Lin Feng nodded and said, No problem, Liena, accept your martial soul fruit. The next moment, on the red tree protected by an enchantment in the sky, a red Wuhun fruit dropped. It flew into Liena's hands immediately. The red tree disappeared. A golden light in the sky gradually dimmed. In just a few seconds, it returned to the previous state of darkness. Liena held a palm-sized red fruit and landed on the ground. The fruit seems to have magical powers. It to lean over, take a bite, and swallow. Suddenly, red light burst out from Lena's body. A strong breath swept through. Form a violent hurricane. Flying countless personnel below the level of the soul sect. Nana, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing this? The others also looked over in shock. On the stage, Lin Feng said slowly, Liena is merging the martial soul fruit, don't worry. With his words, Yu Guan and Gimli felt relieved. Protect Liena around her. Prevent someone from taking the opportunity to sabotage hurricane. They all wanted to witness the transformation of Liena's fusion of the martial soul fruit. Liena's eyes in the original place glowed red. A steady stream of red soul power soared into the sky. Finally, it condensed into a red demon fox on top of her head. Standing on all fours, with sharp claws. Shrek Academy Square was covered. Period. Suppressing the martial spirit in everyone's body. Even Yuan, Ghost, Changsan and other titled Douluo were not immune. This is the suppression caused by the huge gap in the quality of Wuhun. Zhu King's face changed drastically. Because of this red evil nine-tailed demon fox. Exuding the aura of a god-level martial soul that he was familiar with god-level martial soul with an evil attribute, this was the only thought in Zhu King's mind full of shock, disbelief, envy. You must know that he, who possesses a god-level martial soul, is regarded as the future hope of the angel clan. It is also the thing I am most proud of all the time. But Liena stayed on the monument for 3 days because of the attack challenge. He obtained an evil god-level martial soul that is stronger than the seraphim martial soul Zhu King. To be precise, Jin Ringsu's mentality collapsed, and her worldview collapsed. He looked at the silver-haired man on the futon of the ring from a distance. Heartfelt respect arises in my heart, and I have an unprecedented desire to obtain lucky star feathers. On the ring, Lin Feng stood up. He ignored the commotion caused by Liena's fusion of the martial soul fruit. With a palm spread out, 3 lucky star feathers exuding divine golden light appeared. 3 names are condensed on it, Duke Long, Tang Hao, and Liu Long. Among the 3 who got lucky Xingyu this time, it actually includes Tang Hao? It's really getting more and more interesting. The Star Official Challenge has been spread in the past few days. Tang Hao and Tang San must have understood. I don't know if I will have a chance to meet the famous Haoshan Douluo Tang Hao in Douluo Continent tomorrow, who once smashed the Pope. The corner of Lin Feng's mouth curled into a smirk, as if he was afraid that the world would not be chaotic. The system has refreshed a new challenge location, the inner circle of the Star Dao Forest. So, he activated the power of the formation, carried the entire arena and disappeared into the square. P.S. The 4th update, April 4th. Chapter 27. Liena has no star feathers anymore. Tang Hao is going to accept the challenge of the Star Official, the determined Liu Erlong Shrek Academy Plaza, because Liena fused the martial soul fruit, a movement of awakening. The god level 9-tailed demon fox martial soul is really too great. As a result, no one noticed the disappearance of the ring. A full 10 minutes passed. The blood-colored 9-tailed demon fox above Liena's head. The soul power that turned red returned to her body. Liena at this moment. The previously orange hair turned red temperament. She has quite a different charm. Nana, are you feeling okay? Yuguan, Gimli and others greeted them excitedly. Liena's delicate cheeks showed endless joy. Looking at Yuguan, Gimli and others, he said, Grandpa Chrysanthemum, Grandpa Ghost, all elders, smiled. Nana, your second martial spirit is very strong, and it has reached the level of a god-level martial soul. In the future, your achievements will be boundless. It will definitely be above that Tang San. I believe His Excellency the Pope will be very pleased to hear the news. Congratulations to the saint for obtaining a god-level martial soul. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Liena straightened her body and said with a smile, His Royal Highness praised me, and I was just lucky. There are not many people challenging the Golden Monument now. I can get the reward so easily. It will be difficult later. Ning Fengzi leaned on a jeweled cane and said enthusiastically, the saint is humble enough to get the lucky star feather. It's also a rare skill, especially getting lucky star feather 3 times in a row. I don't know if the saint has mastered some kind of trick, or how to get lucky star feather. As soon as these words came out, the atmosphere became delicate. Feather, accept the Star Official Challenge. You will get great opportunities and great fortune. No one can resist such a temptation. Liena thought of what teacher Bibi Dong said about her senior's fondness for her. I also thought of the way senior enjoyed eating the cakes she made during the day. His cheeks were slightly flushed, and he felt very happy. But when she raised her head, she found that everyone was staring at her with puzzled faces. quickly coughed lightly to ease the embarrassment, and said, Sect Master Ning, Senior said about the lucky star feathers that are handed out every day, it's all random, how could I have a way to get it? It's just that no one around her believed her words. Suddenly, everyone found that the ring had disappeared. Fierce discussions erupted in the square. Senior and that ring are gone. I don't know who got the lucky star feather again this time. Huh? Take a look, this time, who Liena, the holy maiden of the spirit hall, she didn't continue to get the lucky star feather. For a moment, everyone's eyes were on the past. Sure enough, Liena was surprised and her hands were empty. Seeing her like this, most people feel balanced. An imperceptible sneer appeared on the corner of Zhu King's mouth. He glanced at Liena and said, Sect Master Ning, Sword Douluo, said, Yes, Your Highness the Crown Prince. Chen Xin looked at the place where the ring disappeared with a complicated expression. Turning around and talking to Ning Fengzi, Zhu King left. Flender and Zhao Waoqi began to evacuate the people in the square. Liena looked disappointed. Walked over to Comfort and said, Nana, you can get lucky star feathers 3 times in a row, it's already pretty good, especially the martial soul fruit just now, let you obtain a god-level evil martial soul, as long as you practice hard in the future, you will definitely achieve something. Let's return to Wuhan City. Liena looked up at the golden monument of attack and spirit in the air. Nod. As long as her ranking is still on the golden tablet, even if you don't get lucky star feathers, you can still get rating rewards. Period. Stardew Great Forest, inner circle on an open grass field. A huge arena appeared here out of thin air. Lin Feng was in a good mood, breathing the fresh air around him, stretched and said, After work, I can finally rest. Immediately, he turned and walked towards the compartment. The decoration in the compartment is very simple, with 1 bedroom, 1 living room and 1 bathroom. The total area is more than 40 square meters, small but complete. On the other side, in the mixed area of the Stardew Forest, somewhere in a cave, Tang Hao held a feather exuding a sacred golden light in his hand. At this moment, a man's majestic voice sounded in his mind. Those who have won the star feathers can go to the inner circle of the Stardew Great Forest to accept the challenge from the star officials before tomorrow's time, and the star feathers will disappear automatically when the time expires. Beside him, Tang San stared at Lucky Xingyu and said excitedly, Dad, you were chosen by Lucky Xingyu. In the past few days, the news about the Star Officials Challenge has already spread throughout the Douluo Continent. During the period, Tang Hao also went out to inquire about the news whether it is the second soul-breaking gun that Feng Zia Ocean got. It was also the 100,000-year soul ring bestowed by the gods that Liena had obtained. Tang San was extremely moved. I feel sorry for the 2 Star Official Challenge opportunities I missed before. Tang Hao opened his eyes. An excited smile appeared on his vicissitude's face. He patted his son's shoulder heavily, and said in a deep voice, Little San, I got lucky. Xingyu, I also know the location of tomorrow's Star Official Challenge. It turned out to be within the Stardew Great Forest. At that time, there will definitely be a large number of soul masters rushing over. It is not ruled out that the titled Douluo elders of the Spirit Hall will also gather here. So, I am going to send you away from the Stardew Forest overnight, after sending you to a safe place. Tomorrow I can accept the Star Officials Challenge without any worries. This may be an opportunity for me to recover from the injuries in this body, improve my strength, and rise up. Tang San said guiltily, Dad, I'm sorry, it's all my fault for dragging you down all these years. Let's leave now. You'd better accept the Star Officials Challenge as soon as possible. Maybe the people from Wuhun Temple didn't come over so soon. Tang Hao looked at his son with ripples in his eyes and said, Little San, what are you talking about? You are my Tang Hao's son. After I accept the Star Officers Challenge and recover my strength, we father and son don't have to hide from XZ all the time. Wuhun Temple. Bibi Dong. One day my father and son will definitely set foot on the Wuhan Palace, purchase all the old and new grudges together. Immediately afterwards, Tang Hao and Tang San left the cave, headed towards the outer edge of the Stardew Great Forest. Tang San turned his head to look in the direction of the core area, and murmured, Xiao Wu, I'm too weak now. When I am strong enough, I will come back to you. In the original book, Tang San and Tang Hao are not on the Stardew Great Forest, but I am here to increase the fun of the plot. Please forgive me for minor changes. Shrek Academy. Inside the dean's office, Flender sat at his desk, pushing his gold-rimmed glasses. Seeing Ma Hongjin excitedly ordered, Little fat man, now you are in the first place on the Attack Challenge Gold Monument. In the next period of time, you are not allowed to leave the academy for half a step. As long as no one pushes your ranking down, you will be rewarded with the same high rating as Liena. Mo Hongjin was caught in a tryst with a few schoolgirls, feeling very upset. But after thinking about it, it made sense, and he nodded and replied, "President, don't worry, I will definitely not go anywhere in the near future, stay in the academy obediently. Can I go to the finance department tomorrow and get a year's salary? Flender made a lot of money today," and he waved his hand. "Of course, you did well today. You also know how to ask for the opportunity to accept the Star Officer's challenge for me in front of the seniors, and go directly to receive the 3-year salary tomorrow." Shrek Academy. In a room, Liu Erlong was holding the lucky star feather in his hands. His tired cheeks showed joy. She looked at Yu Xiaogang, who was weak and asleep on the bed, and said excitedly, "Xiaogang, wait here for me to come back. I will definitely get back the elixir that solves your martial spirit problem." Liu Erlong left a note and quietly left the room. But when she was about to leave for the starred out Great Forest, she thought of something and walked towards the kitchen. P.S. The first change, January 4th. Chapter 28. Emperor Zuyu hopes to obtain the fruit of longevity. Jin Daoliu can't sit still. Tang Hao's traces are exposed late at night. Somewhere in the hunting forest, Meng Yiren from the 46th level soul sect came to the side of Dragon Lord and Snake Woman. She has blue hair. The figure is slender, slim and plump. At the age of 20, she still gives off a girly look, youthful and charming. The Snake Lady looked at her granddaughter and said angrily, "Yiren, you little girl doesn't practice hard all day long. It's only level 46 soul power. Your grandfather and I are getting old. Who will protect you after 100 years? I don't know if Tang San is still alive now. Twin martial souls, sons of Haoshan, are a perfect match for you." Meng Yiren stepped forward and held his grandmother's arm, and said coquettishly, "Grandma, it's still not weak. If you can protect yourself, you will also be able to protect Grandpa and Grandma in the future. Besides, I still have to be with my grandparents forever. I'm not going anywhere." Once, Meng still fell in love with Tang San, but as the gap between the two widened, knowing that Tang San already has a woman he loves deeply after 3 years, Meng still completely let go. After all, to Tang San, she was just nothing. It was just an ignorant heartbeat in my year's teenage. At this time, the space in front of Duke Long was torn apart. A golden feather appeared, exuding divine golden light. Duke Long was stunned for a while, his face showing joy. "Reach out and hold Lucky Zingayu in your hand." The next moment, a man's majestic voice sounded in his mind. After a long time, Duke Long opened his eyes, said, "Old woman, still, I was chosen by Lucky Zingayu. Let's go to the inner circle of the Star Dao Forest immediately. That's where the Star Official Challenge refreshes." Snake Po and Meng are still pleasantly surprised. They have long heard about the Star Officials challenging them. Liena, the saint of Wuhun Temple, received a 100,000-year soul ring bestowed by God. Feng Zai Ocean from Shen Feng Academy obtained the second soul-breaking spear. Get great opportunities and good luck. The three of them immediately set off for the Star Dao Forest, and Longang Mengshu got a lucky star feather. The Star Official Challenge to refresh the two. News of the location it happened to be heard by a nearby soul master, and he quickly spread the word in the Heaven Dao Empire. In the Imperial Palace, Emperor Zuyu listened to the report from the Prince Zhu King below. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Period. The news about Liena's acquisition of a god-level evil spirit. His face was full of shock, and then Long Yan was delighted. At this time, someone presented a letterhead. Emperor Zuyu looked at it, excitedly facing Zhu King below. Ning Fengzi and Sword Douluo said solemnly, "King, Sect Master Ning, Sword Douluo, as for the matter of the Star Officer's Challenge, you still need to continue to investigate. If you can make friends with that, befriend that senior, or find a way to get lucky star feather, I will definitely reward you." This time Emperor Zuyu continued, "I have received a message, Mengshu, the dragon among the dragon masters and snake women in the soul master world. This person has obtained the lucky star feather, going to the inner circle of the starred out Great Forest to accept the Star Officer's Challenge. King, Sect Master Ning, Sword Douluo, you guys leave now for the Star Dao Forest. This time, it must be for me. Express friendly cooperation to seniors." Zhu King and Ning Fengzi looked at each other heartily. "Follow your orders, Royal Father. I will leave now. Fruit, I have been brooding about this for a long time. When he was young, He fought on the battlefield and suffered from a serious illness. Now that I am old and my body is getting worse, I know that my time is numbered. As long as you can get the Shaoyin fruit to increase your lifespan. No matter what the cost is. Wuhan City, the Hall of Enshrinement. The great priest Jin Daoli looked at his granddaughter Jin Ringsu 100,000 urgently sent back the information today. Ma Hongjin's martial soul will evolve into an ancient beast with 9 heads of fire phoenix, obtain a 90,000-year 5th soul ring. The soul power has skyrocketed by a full 6 levels. Liena not only got a 30,000-year-old soul bone, I also got a god level evil martial soul that is stronger than the seraphim martial soul, the proudmost seraph martial soul in the history of my angel family. It's actually being compared like this. Only Liena won a high rating reward for challenging the Golden Monument. The refresh location for the Star Officer challenge is in the Star Dao Forest. Jin Daoliu's face could be as ugly as it is as the patriarch of the angel family. His mentality collapsed after a long time. The eyes glowed with scorching heat and said majestically, Qianjin, Jiangmo, where's the holy dragon? A few seconds later, 3 figures appeared below. Respectfully shouted, your subordinate is here. What orders does the high priest have? Jin Daoliu sighed heavily. The whole person seems to have aged a lot, and continued, the 3 of you head to the inner area of the Star Dao Forest immediately. Go and observe the whole process of the Star Officials Challenge. Come back and report to the old man. You can't ignore any details. After a pause, he added, remember not to easily offend that silver-haired young man. There is also the news that the Star Officials Challenge to refresh in the Star Dao Great Forest. Remember not to be known by people in the Pope's Palace. The 3 of Shenglong, Qianjin, and Jiangmo in unison, obey, make a big offering. Immediately afterwards, the figures of the 3 disappeared in place. Jin Daoliu rubbed his head a little uneasy. He knew about the existence of Star Officer Challenge before. Whether it is the second soul-breaking gun that Feng Zia Ocean obtained. It was also the 100,000-year soul ring bestowed by the gods that Liena had obtained. Didn't pay much attention to it. But Liena got it today. A god-level evil spirit stronger than the seraph spirit, the 9-tailed demon fox. Jin Daoliu could no longer remain calm. Based on his understanding of Bibi Dong, a vicious woman danger, at dawn, Liena finally returned to Wuhan City meet the Pope teacher in the Pope's Palace. Bibi Dong listened to his apprentice talking about the harvest of this trip to Shrek Academy. I am really happy for her and said, Nana, congratulations on obtaining a god-level martial soul. In the future, your achievements will definitely be higher than mine. Liena blushed and said embarrassedly, teacher, it's all thanks to senior, otherwise I wouldn't be able to obtain a god-level martial arts soul. When she said this, shyness appeared in her eyes. Bibi Dong looked at her apprentice's spring heart sprouting. With a knowing smile, she was once young and asked, Nana, the pastries you made for seniors, have seniors eaten? Liena happily and said, I've eaten. The smile on the corner of Bibi Dong's mouth deepened. Satisfied, he said, not bad, not bad. The cakes you made? From now on, you will make something to eat for the seniors every day and take it with you. Man, you want to keep his heart, you must keep his stomach first. Nana, the future of Wuhan depends on you. Liena's face turned even redder. She lowered her head shyly and said, teacher, don't talk nonsense, but for Wuhan, for the teacher, I will try my best to have a good relationship with senior. Liena said so, but the smile on her face betrayed her current mood. Nana, although you didn't get lucky Zingai this time, but I've received a tip. The Star Officers Challenge location is refreshed inside the Star Dao Forest. You take a break. And Yuguan and the others rush over. By the way, I still have news. Recently, we found traces of Tang Hao's activities in the Star Dao Forest. You guys investigate this matter. By the way, when Liena heard the word Tang Hao, the first time he thought of his old enemy Tang San in the past 3 years. She has dreamed of defeating the opponent in a dignified manner. Teacher, don't worry, this matter is on me. After Liena finished speaking, she turned and left the Pope's palace after preparing some cakes. Under the escort of 5 titled Douluo elders including Yuguan and Gigi, they went to the Star Dao Forest. Ho Wu's best friend Meng Yer and Tang Hao is here. Duke Long accepts the Star Official Challenge Star Dao Great Forest, the core area. Period. Xiao Wu sat on the shoulder of the Titan Great Ape. Looking in the direction of the inner circle, he said, Erming, did you sense it? That Star Official challenged the ring. It seems to have come to our Star Forest. The Titan Great Ape looked up at the 3 mysterious golden monuments above the sky too. Yesterday, Someone from the Spirit Hall accepted the Star Officials challenge. I got a god-level martial soul. It's like the Shrek Academy you were in, Miss Wu. Someone's martial soul evolved into an ancient beast with 9 heads of fire phoenix. This Star Official challenge is really amazing. I heard that soul beasts also have a chance to qualify for the challenge. I don't know if it's true. Xiao Wu watched. Attack challenged the Golden Tablet Ma Hongjin, who won first place, had a happy expression on his face. This was the happiest news Xiao Wu had heard in the past 3 years. The Azure Bull Python came from the Lake of Life. Said solemnly, Miss Wu, the inner circle is where the Star Officials challenge the ring. Presumably there will be a large number of Soul Masters gathered today. Maybe the title Douluo from the Spirit Hall will also be there. You must not risk the past. The Titan Giant Ape looked at Xiao Wu, and said anxiously, Miss Wu, Daming is right. You must not take that risk. As long as you stay in the core area, Daming and I can keep you safe. Xiao Wu's eyes were slightly lost, and she sighed and said, Daming, Erming, I understand. Here when the 3 of them saw the arena exuding mysterious power, his face was stunned and shocked. Because of the mysterious power emanating from the arena. It has the same aura as the 3 mysterious golden monuments in the sky. Duke Long looked at the 2 of them and said, Old woman, still, Senior hasn't appeared yet. Let's wait. They were the first to come and found a place to sit cross-legged. Meng still sat on Grandpa's left. His eyes looked curiously at the arena. I found that everything above seemed ordinary. But it gives people a sense of mystery, and a Snake Lady sat on the right side of Duke Long. Full of anticipation in her heart, Duke Long's soul power reached level 87, accepting the challenge of the Star Official. This time will definitely make it to a higher level gradually. More and more people came here. Everyone looked at the 3 of Duke Long in surprise. After all, in the world of Soul Masters, Duke Long and Snake Lady's reputation is not low. The 2 can perform the martial soul fusion technique together. The combined attack of the dragon and the snake is as powerful as a title Douluo. Not long after, 2 figures in black robes came here. When one of them saw Meng Yiren, he walked over excitedly and shouted, Yiren, Grandpa Long, Grandma Snake, I didn't expect to meet you here. Meng Yiren heard this voice and instantly recognized it as his best friend Ho Wu. Standing up excitedly, he said, Ho Wu, it's you. Feng Xiaoshan from behind also came over. Both of them lifted their hoods to reveal their faces. Ho Wu and Meng Yiren held hands very excitedly. Huao said, Still, tonight is the day when Xiaoshan ascends the Defense Golden Monument for 3 days, so after we know that the Star Officers Challenge location is within the Star Dao Forest, I rushed over immediately. Meng still smiled politely at Feng Xiaoshan. Historically looking at the best friend said, Ho Wu, you really have vision. Xiaoshan now possesses twin martial souls, so he will definitely be able to achieve great things in the future. Ho Wu proudly raised her chin, and glanced at her boyfriend Feng Xiaoshan. Feng Xiaoshan stepped forward to salute and said, Junior Feng Xiaoshan, I have met Senior Dragon and Senior Snake. Duke Long and Mrs. Snake looked at Feng Xiaoshan. I am very satisfied with this handsome and talented young man. It's a pity that he is already Ho Wu's boyfriend. Duke Long and Mrs. Snake nodded appreciatively, closed their eyes and meditated. Meng Yiren said excitedly at this time, Ho Wu, I have some good news for you. My grandfather also got the lucky star feather. Today I am here to accept the Star Officials Challenge. Feng Xiaoshan and Ho Wu's eyes lit up, and they quickly said some words of congratulations. It is known among the people who have been qualified to accept the challenge of Star Officials so far they are all the younger generation in the Soul Master world. There has never been a veteran Soul Master like Duke Long. This also means that the competition for the Golden Tablet list will become more intense in the next short hour. A large number of Soul Masters poured into the inner area of the Star Dao Forest. Reached tens of thousands of people blocked the water around the arena. All kinds of discussions and noises can be heard endlessly among the crowd. A fierce woman broke and red flames lingered all over his body, and some blue electricity wandered around in it, forcing the nearby people back forcefully. Liu Erlong's martial soul is Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex mutated into Fire Dragon. Liu Erlong looked around. His brows were tightly frowned. His face froze slightly when he saw Feng Xiaoshan. She has a little impression of this newly promoted twin martial soul genius in the Soul Master world. After discovering Mrs. Long and Mrs. Snake, she walked over slowly. She and Duke Long are both contra strength, disdain to be with other people today. Liu Erlong came to accept the Star Officials Challenge. There is only one goal. That is to obtain the elixir that solves the problem of Wuhan for Yu Xiaogang. Suddenly, 3 powerful tidal Douluo breath flew from a distance. landed on the edge of the ring. The soul masters around were all suppressed, their faces receding in fear. The person who came was the holy dragon of the enshrinement hall, who could subdue the devil and was 1000 Jun 95 or above. Even Liu Erlong, Duke Long and other contras. The soul power in the body is suppressed. Holy Dragon Douluo's soul power is as high as level 97. With his hands on his back, he looked around indifferently. In the end, his eyes fell on Duke Long and Liu Erlong. Leading Jiang Mo, Qianjun sat cross-legged by the ring and waited. Under the order of Jin Dao Liu, they came to observe the whole process of the Star Officials challenge at the same time. You can't be the enemy of the master of the arena, the Star Official. And with the arrival of the three, tens of thousands of soul masters gathered here. They were very tacit and kept quiet. Don't dare to speak nonsense anymore. In the dark, a man with a beard on his face. Period. His eyes were fixed on Shenglong, Qianjun and Jiang Mo, three people with sharp eyes narrowed slightly. He put on the tattered headgear to conceal his aura. On the ring, in the compartment, Lin Feng sat up from the bed and yawned. Huma, the feeling of waking up naturally after falling asleep is awesome. He put on his white clothes, opened the door of the compartment, and walked out into the eyes. It was near the empty arena last night at this moment. Dense crowds of people gathered. Everyone looked at themselves excitedly. Lin Feng strode out, come to the center futon and sit down. Instantly found Shenglong, Jiang Mo, and Qianjun beside the ring. Suddenly, he looked towards the east. His eyes went through everything and saw the tree trunk there hidden in a tattered gray robe. A middle-aged man with chaotic soul power and numerous injuries. Lin Feng's eyes brightened slightly, and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Things are getting more and more interesting. Lin Feng looked at Duke Long and Liu Erlong under the ring. Majestic said, since you're here, come up to accept the Star Officer's challenge. Such a sentence made Tang Hao's face in the distance change greatly. The look that the other party looked at just now. He knew that he was discovered, secretly thinking that this person's strength was terrifying. Tang Hao stared at the holy dragon beside the ring, subduing the demon. 1000 Jun when hesitating whether to go up to accept the Star Officer's challenge. Duke Long Mengshu stood up holding the dragon's head crutch in his hand. He walked towards the ring. His body walked directly into the range of the arena's defensive formation. Come to the silver-haired man on the futon in the center, saluted respectfully and said, Mengshu, Duke Long, pay respects to senior. I got lucky star feather, come here to accept the Star Officials challenge, and look to seniors for guidance. Duke Long was extremely excited at this moment. He is very old, and it is difficult to improve after staying in this state for many years. The current Star Official challenges are once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Lin Feng said, integrate your soul power into Lucky Star Feather. I will start the Star Official challenge for you. Duke Long nodded, took out Xingyu and input soul power. Spirit appeared. PS, the third update, March 4th. Chapter 30. Duke Long was rated C+, soul power pill plus 100,000 year soul bone. Liu Erlong kneeled to start the spiritual challenge on the ring. Lin Feng looked at Duke Long in front of him, opened his mouth and said, Duke Long, what you started is a spiritual challenge. Now inject your maximum spiritual power into Xingyu. Xingyu will give you a rating based on your mental strength. Let's start. Duke Long's face was a bit ugly, staring at the word spirit that lucky Xingyu displayed. I can only sigh. Yes, senior, as a soul master with a strong attack system. It turned on the spiritual challenge. The snake mother under the ring is fragrant to the sky. Meng Yiren. See Duke Long start the spiritual challenge ring. Tang Hao in the distance is also seriously observing this challenge. Accumulate experience for yourself rings to accept the challenge. Tens of thousands of soul masters gathered nearby. Everyone didn't care what type of challenge Duke Long opened. I only care about what kind of ratings and rewards I can get. On the ring, Duke Long's level 87 soul power exploded, shone with a black light. This is his weapon soul, the 7th soul skill, martial soul avatar. The 7th spirit ring under his feet lit up. I saw it from the top of the dragon's head and crutches. There was a deafening dragon roar in the blink of an eye. It spread throughout the entire area around the starred out great forest. This made Duke Long's aura skyrocket. Mental strength has been greatly improved. The 3rd soul skill, Dragon Soul Domain, appeared. Can weaken all attributes of enemies in the field by 10%. Enhance your own 10% all attributes. This is also the only thing on Duke Long's body other than the spirit avatar. The only soul skill that can increase spiritual power. Immediately afterwards, Duke Long's body flew into the air. Slight tremor, Lucky Xingyu swallowed a black dragon. A strong airflow surged, causing a hurricane to blow across the field. Some weak soul masters were crushed into coma. Duke Long persisted for 10 minutes. Mental power was almost exhausted and fell. Quickly used the leading crutches to resist, so as not to fall, but he soon discovered that the mental power in his body was recovering at an alarming rate. His face regained some blood from its original paleness. Lucky Xingyu restrained the golden light and became calm. Flying to Lin Feng was put away at the same time. A line of red letters appeared in his mind. Character, Duke Long Mengshu. Mental strength, 98,301. Rating, C+. Reward, Soul Power Pill 1. Evil Dragon Right Arm 100,000 Year Soul Bone 1. Soul Power Pill. After taking it, title Douluo and below will be promoted to 3 consecutive levels. Lin Feng was quite surprised when he saw the information in his mind. This is the first time that the system gives 2 kinds of rewards at the same time. At this time, Duke Long came to the futon. The old face showed joy. After bowing deeply, he asked excitedly, "Senior, I have completed the attack. Don't know, what rating did I get?" Lin Feng looked up at Duke Long and said, "Duke Long, congratulations on your mental strength, achieved 98,301 points. Rated, C+. Title Douluo. After taking it, the soul power can be upgraded to 3 consecutive levels of soul power pill. There is also a 100,000-year-old evil dragon's right arm spirit bone." Lin Feng squeezed out a cyan light ball in his hand, and flew in front of Duke Long. The light group split into 2 and turned into soul power pills and soul bones. In an instant, everyone in the audience was staring at the ring. 2 rewards in front of Duke Long. The C+ rating reward is already for all those who have accepted the challenge of star officials. There is no one of the highest ratings played 100,000-year-old soul bone. Its value is also sky-defying. In the distance, Tang Hao stared at the soul power pill and soul bone on the ring. A light of hope appeared in his eyes. The vicissitudes of life looked much younger at this moment. He firmly believes that he will come to accept the star official challenge today. Look of joy on his face, he stared at the silver-haired man with his arms around him. "Can't wait to accept your star officer challenge." Shenglong, Jiangmo, Qianjin, etc. are enshrined in the Wuhan Hall. They all stood up and stared at the 100,000-year-old soul bone. The breath exuding from above is absolutely unmistakable. That is really a soul bone with a lifespan of 100,000 years, stronger than the 100,000-year-old soul bone of the same level. That soul power pill is also a rare treasure. The 3 of them all showed greed for this, and the treasures are naturally the strong ones. Snake Mother Zhao Xiangxiang and Meng Yiren's grandmother and grandson leaned on each other. "I am sincerely happy for Duke Long." Feng Ziocean and Ho Wu's eyes were burning, secretly envious. The same is true for the tens of thousands of soul masters around. It's a pity that lucky stars are hard to find on the ring. Duke Long held the soul power pill and soul bone with trembling hands. His eyes looked excitedly at the silver-haired young man in front of him. With a plop, he knelt down and kowtowed 3 times, shouted with tears of gratitude, "Long, Mengshu, thank you for the reward. Senior, thank you, Senior. If it wasn't for the opportunity given by the Senior to accept the challenge of the star official, I'm afraid I won't be able to cultivate to the title Douluo realm in my whole life. Get such a peerless soul bone." Lin Feng was used to seeing such scenes, and had long since become numb. Slowly said, "This is your reward for accepting the star official's challenge. It has nothing to do with me. Don't thank me." Also, Lucky Xingyu randomly selects the lucky ones. "I can't control it. Go down with your reward." Duke Long nodded repeatedly, and quickly stood up. He holds the soul power pill in his left hand, and 100,000-year soul bone in his right hand. But when he was about to walk out of the ring with 1 foot, his face changed slightly, and he quickly swallowed the soul power pill in his left hand. In an instant, a steady stream of medicinal power erupted. Fill the meridians in his body. Accompanied by this, the soul power has increased from level 87. Soar all the way to level 90, will be a real title Douluo powerhouse. Duke Long breathed a sigh of relief after his soul power increased. If you are not afraid of thieves stealing, you are afraid of thieves thinking about it, so you have to be careful. He walked down the ring quickly and came to Snake Woman and Meng Yiren. Before they could speak, he said, "Old woman, you protect the law for me. I want to absorb this spirit bone now." Deployed her martial arts to guard her left and right. No one dared to snatch rewards under the eyes of seniors. Shenglong and Jiangmo, Qianjin watched this scene. All 3 of them were angry, and they could only let out a cold snort. Jin Daoliu specifically instructed, absolutely cannot be the enemy of the master of the arena, the star official. Even if other soul masters are unwilling, they can only envy them. Meanwhile, above the sky, that spirit challenges the golden monument. Liena's ranking dropped to second place. The first place was occupied by Duke Long Mengshu far away at the entrance of the starred-out Great Forest. Liena was on her way after discovering that on the spiritual golden tablet in the air, his first place was replaced. His face froze. The long whip in his hand beat the white horse's butt even more forcefully. Very unwillingly yesterday she was robbed of the first place in attacking the golden monument by Ma Hongjin unexpectedly. Today's tragedy happened again. Starred-out Great Forest, inner circle. Under the arena, Ho Wu noticed a change in the golden monument in the air. Said excitedly to her best friend Meng Yiren, "Still, Grandpa Long replaced Liena, became number 1 on the spiritual golden monument." Meng Yiren and the snake woman looked up, and both grandma and grandson were very excited. At this time, on the ring, Erlong was dressed in blue long clothes, with long hair draped over his shoulders. Walking to the futon and looking at the silver-haired young man, he knelt down with a plop and said, "Liu Erlong, pay respects to senior." Lin Feng frowned and looked at the woman. He said in a cold voice, "Liu Erlong, why are you doing this?" Liu Erlong kowtowed vigorously, got up and said, "Senior, Zhiagang shouldn't have offended you yesterday. He has already received the punishment he deserved. I, Liu Erlong, will apologize to Senior on Zhiagang's behalf." Lin Feng was speechless, and said indifferently, "Don't waste time, I'm not interested in things about you Zhiagang. Take out the lucky star feather and inject it with soul power, and I will start the star official challenge for you." Liu Erlong nodded and said, "Yes, Senior." Immediately, she took out the lucky star feather and injected it with soul power. Xingqiu immediately glowed with a holy golden light, and flew into the air to reveal the word Spirit Challenge. "Now inject your maximum spiritual power into Xingqiu. Xingqiu will give you a rating based on your mental strength. Let's start." Liu Erlong stared at lucky Xingqiu and clenched his fists tightly, full of resentment and regret. Her martial soul is a fire dragon mutated from the blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex, belongs to the assault department soul master. Compared with attack, the mental aspect will be much weaker. I saw determination in her eyes. He looked at the silver-haired man on the futon. Request says, "Senior, can you give me 3 minutes?" Lin Feng narrowed his eyes slightly and said, "Yes." Liu Erlong smiled sincerely and said, "Period. Thank you, Senior." Immediately afterwards, 8 soul rings rose from under their feet and flew into the air. At this time, red flames were attached to his body. The temperature is extremely high, as if it can melt everything. And among these flames, there are still some blue dragons walking by. It makes the power of the flame increase a little invisibly. This is Liu Erlong's mutated fire dragon attribute of bursting flames. Suddenly, the soul power of Liu Erlong skyrocketed out of thin air. The spirit power of level 86 reaches the level of level 88. Such a horrifying, unbelievable scene instantly shocked tens of thousands of people in the arena. Lin Feng could clearly feel it. Although Liu Erlong's aura in the air kept rising, his mouth to remind her, "Liu Erlong, you have burned your vitality as the price. Increase your strength, and if you continue like this, you may die." Liu Erlong stood in the endless flames. Like a Vulcan, it is powerful in all directions. At this moment, the flames condensed into a fire dragon tens of meters long. Hovering behind him, the dragon's breath turned into a tornado of flames. Her eyes were determined, and she said in a concentrated voice, "Senior, don't worry, I have my own measure." The 7th soul skill, the true body of the fire dragon. The 7th soul ring under Liu Erlong's feet lit up. The fire dragon roared up to the sky, even though it flew up. Then he swooped down and got into her body. Erlong, at this moment the coercion she released, it was enough to scare more than 99% of the soul masters in the audience. This is the fire dragon formed by the mutated blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex. In addition, Liu Erlong did not hesitate to use the fire dragon's secret technique. The power obtained by forcibly burning vitality. She wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. With a trembling voice, he said affectionately, "Zhiagang, as long as you can get the elixir that can solve your martial soul problem, I'm willing to do whatever it takes." The last word of the woman fell, and her own mental power gushed out from her forehead, condensed into a palm-sized crimson fire dragon fly towards Lucky Xingqiu in the flames and soul ring on her body. The soul power all disappeared in this instant. His body fell heavily from the air. and he lay on his back on the ground without even the strength to move again. The crimson fire dragon in the sky was absorbed by Lucky Star Feather. A terrifying aftermath of energy came out of the shock and swept away. All the big trees in the sky within a radius of 1 kilometer were blown away and uprooted in the east direction. A figure in black robe was forced to fly into the air, exposing the breath. He was caught and discovered by Shenglong Douluo directly. "You are Tang Hao." Shenglong was shocked suddenly, and 9 powerful spirit rings rose from under his feet. Shouted violently, "The sinner Tang Hao appears, subduing demon, Qianjin. Follow me to kill Tang Hao." Jiangmo and Qianjin ascended to the sky together, and the level 96 soul power was released. 9 soul rings also appeared under his feet. The 3 priests charged aggressively towards Tang Hao, who was in the distance. In the air, Tang Hao took off his hat, showing a face full of vicissitudes of life. But his eyes were extremely sharp and murderous. "Sticks, just rely on you 3 lackeys of the spirit hall. I also want to kill me, Tang Hao." Haoshin real body, big Sumeru hammer. Tang Hao walked step by step from the air. Sky hammer, representing ultimate strength and murderous aura. To be lifted high, to accumulate strength. Slammed down in the direction of Shenglong, Jiangmo, and Qianjin. Carrying terrifying power, forming a force to impact the wall. It has the potential to destroy the world. Tang Hao forcibly swallowed the blood in his mouth. Angrily shouted, "Wuhun Tian, today I am Tang Hao, holy dragon that is being killed, descending the demon, is in danger." Their soul power is higher than that of level 95 Tang Hao. But they were all under the opponent's blow. Feeling the crisis from death, all faces changed drastically. Holy Dragon Douluo's level 97 soul power exploded, and he roared, "The 7th soul skill, the true body of the Holy Dragon, the 9th soul skill, the Holy Dragon is destroyed." Subduing Demon Douluo and 15-ton Douluo burst out with level 96 soul power, shouting in unison, "Martial soul fusion technique, lift the sky, 1 stick." In the sky, a 100-meter huge golden Holy Dragon spit out the energy of death. Absorb all the vitality within 100 meters and blast towards Tang Hao. The spirits of Jiangmo and Qianjin are both Panlong sticks, and they are combined into one. Transformed into 10,000 Zhang Sky Stick, carrying an invincible momentum. Cooperating with the annihilating energy, he blasted towards Tang Hao in an instant. The attacks of both sides collided together. Causes a huge mushroom cloud to appear in the sky. The aftermath of the earth-shaking energy spread like a flood. It affected the entire Stardao forest, and countless soul beasts suffered. The earth shook violently because of this, and the mountains and rivers were broken. A huge gully appeared, as if a catastrophe had come. Masters here were able to escape. On the ring, Lin Feng watched the battle in the air. His eyes can see through everything. See in that smoke. Tang Hao still holds the Haoshin hammer and stands between the sky and the earth. And Shenglong, Jiangmo, and Qianjin were all shot down to the ground. He was badly wounded and out of breath, injured with 1 hammer. If this waits for Tang Hao to recover from his injuries, haven't you just set foot on the spirit hall and hammered Bibi Dong? Lin Feng looked at Tang Hao with a smirk on his lips. Period. A look of fear that the world will not be chaotic. He looked at the unconscious Liu Erlong on the ring, and a scarlet letter appeared in his mind. Character, Liu Erlong, mental strength, 144,656, rating, C+, reward, variant Haoshin Martial Soul Pill, variant Haoshin Wuhun Pill. The user can obtain a mutated Haoshin Hammer. Wuhan remarks, mutated Haoshin Martial Soul Pill can be given as a gift. Lin Feng looked at the system information in his mind and said regretfully, "It's a pity that the strength of mental strength is only 4,000 points away from reaching the 150,000 B rating." At this time, the challenger Liu Erlong was unconscious. But the spirit in the air challenged the Golden Monument, and the ranking changed again. First place, Liu Erlong. Second place, Duke Long. Third place, Liena. Under the arena, there are tens of thousands of soul masters. They have no time to take into account the changing Golden Monument in the air. He was already shocked by Haoshin Douluo's momentum and strength. Just like 3 years ago, Tang Hao appeared in Wuhan City alone. Fight against Pope Bibi Dong and several titled Douluo alone, and rescue Tang San. Today, also with an invincible attitude. Defeat the 3 offerings from the Shrine of Offerings. Holy Dragon Douluo with level 97 soul power, and Jiangmo Douluo and 15-ton Douluo with level 96 soul power. The title of Haoshin Douluo Tang Hao. After 3 years, Megatron once again shocked the world of soul masters. This is the power of Haoshin, the strength of the number one sect in the world in the air. Tang Hao's figure appeared. He was dressed in a tattered gray robe, and held a bright red clear sky hammer in his hand. The breath on his body is extremely terrifying, suppressing the quartet. It's like an undefeated god of war, wanting to punish the sky and shake the earth. However, at this moment Tang Hao spat out a mouthful of blood. His breath was weak. Quickly braced his injury and flew towards the inner ring. At the same time, Wuhun titled Elder Douluo Yuan, Ghost, Leopard, Demon Bear, and Sea Turtle are protecting Liena. Flying from afar, Shenglong, descending the demon, flew into the air weakly. Shenglong grinned and roared. Everyone came just in time. The sinner Tang Hao is here, let's work together to kill it. However, the next moment Tang Hao's figure stepped onto the ring in one leap. PS, the first change, 1/4, I fell asleep last night, posting the first update now. Chapter 32. A proud Haoshan Douluo, what does the life and death of the Wuhun Temple have to do with me? Tang Hao started a defense challenge to explode the ring. Liena is protected by 5 titled Douluo. A group of people came to the outer area. Coming soon to the inner circle, she suddenly discovered a spiritual challenge golden monument in the air. His ranking fell from second place again. He was replaced by Liu Erlong and became the third. Liena was even more anxious and unwilling. Last night's B+ rating reward letter. Obtain a god level evil spirit to be rewarded with an A+ rating. Who would have thought that he would be cut off by Duke Long and Liu Erlong? But think again. Both Duke Long and Liu Erlong are long-established contract powerhouses. No matter how talented she is, it's no more than level 62 Soul Emperor strength. It's normal to be taken away by 2 contras. But the next moment, a terrifying energy storm were crushed to death. Yu Guan quickly used his soul power to protect Liena, take her and other titled Douluo elders to fly into the air and hurry. It was only when the 6 rushed to the inner circle but he saw the seriously injured and weak Shenglong, Qianjin, descending the demon. All 3 of them are enshrined in the Hall of Worship. Holy Dragon Douluo's soul power is level 97, conquering demon Douluo and 15-ton Douluo are level 96. What kind of enemy actually hurt them like this? At this time, Shenglong's angry words. The faces of Liena, Yuguan, Gimi and others changed drastically. He stared closely at the gray-robed figure who flew embarrassingly towards the mysterious arena below. Never thought of the number one enemy of Wuhun. Tang Hao will really appear here. Immediately afterwards, a bad feeling rose in everyone's heart. Could it be that Tang Hao, he came to accept the challenge from the star official? At this moment, not only the 5 people on Liena's even side were stunned. Even Shenglong, Jiangmo, and Qianjin showed expressions of fear. The star official challenge has created too many miracles in the past few days. Tang Hao was so powerful even when he was seriously injured. If he accepts the star official's challenge, he will be rewarded. At that time, the consequences will be unimaginable. However, when these people are in fear ring, Lin Feng sat upright. After staring at the eyes and coming here, constantly spurting blood wildly, he pressed the clear sky hammer against Tang Hao, who was unstable on the ground. Immediately, the clear sky hammer disappeared. Tang Hao's body was like a mountain collapsing. He fell heavily to the ground. This bearded face was stained red with blood. The vicissitudes of life show a tired and painful middle-aged man, struggling several times to stand up. This is his pride as a Haoshan Douluo. It's a pity that I fell worse several times. Breath is weak. Dying Tang Hao used Haoshan's real body and Dasu Michui just now. The suppression of the 3 major priests affected already serious injuries. Now it has reached the limit. Relying on his terrible will to support, Lin Feng looked at Tang Hao calmly. He knew the man's legendary life if it wasn't for his wife, Ian, who was led by the former Pope Chihiroji to hunt down and kill her. The subsequent series of tragedies brought about by Chihiroji were not killed. So Tang Hao's talent is not weaker than Tang Chen's. It is only a matter of time before reaching the top of Peerless Douluo at level 99. Rather than end up in such a miserable situation now. Under the arena, there are tens of thousands of soul masters. Many of them will be Haoshan Douluo. Tang Hao, as a lifelong idol, faith, but now I saw that he was seriously injured, so weak they all cast regretful eyes on the ring. Tang Hao struggled for a long time. I found that no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get up. Period. In the end, he could only smile miserably. Think of Tang Hao as a proud man all his life. Even if he was alone against Wuhun, he never frowned. Today it ended up in such a field. Tang Hao took a deep breath and said with difficulty, Tang Hao, meet senior. Tang Hao said the last word. His complexion changed suddenly, and endless pain hid him. It caused another spurt of blood. He knew that he would die soon. In this world, only this person in front of him can save himself. Lin Feng frowned. Looking at Tang Hao, he shook his head and said, "It's okay, take out the lucky star feathers you got and input your soul power." Brightened like a drowning man grabbing at straws, he gritted his teeth hard, not knowing where the strength came from. The whole person sat up cross-legged. Looking at the person on the futon in front of him, he said gratefully, "Thank you, senior," but just as he took out a lucky star feather, when preparing to inject the little soul power left in the body, Liena, Yuguan, Giga, Shenglong and others landed on the edge of the ring for Tang Hao. "He is the #1 enemy of my spirit hall. As long as you let him continue this consumption, he will definitely die. If Tang Hao is allowed to start the Star Official Challenge, he will finally be rewarded, then it will be a huge disaster for my spirit hall." As soon as these words came out, tens of thousands of people in the audience gasped. His eyes were fixed on the silver-haired man on the futon facing the request of Wuhun Temple. Will he still start the Star Official Challenge for Tang Hao? Liena bit her lips, feeling extremely agitated. She kept shaking her head in the direction of the ring. "I hope that man can see his heart. Don't start the Star Official Challenge for Tang Hao." But what was waiting was an indifferent gaze. Endless anger appeared on Tang Hao's face. The hope that had just been kindled was shaken. His eyes showed anticipation and longing. He has not yet avenged his wife Lin Feng's handsome face at this moment, it was full of sarcasm and indifference. He looked at Yuguan and Ghost under the ring. Shenglong, Qianjun and other Wuhun titled Douluo masters sneered and said, "What does the life and death of Wuhun have to do with me? I, Lin Feng, as a Destiny Star officer, Star Official Challenges are only open for those who get lucky feather stars every day. I am not right about people, no matter who the other party is or what identity they have, or the body of a soul beast, as long as it is a creature chosen by Lucky Xingyu, I will start the Star Official Challenge for him." Lin Feng's impassioned words fell. His eyes looked at Tang Hao, who was beaming again, said coldly, "Tang Hao, why are you still hesitating? Input soul power into Lucky Xingyu, I will start the Star Official Challenge for you." Tang Hao was full of gratitude. At this moment, facing the silver-haired young man in front of him, with reverence raised, he said excitedly, "Obey, senior." Tang Hao immediately injected soul power into the lucky star feather in his hand. Thunderbolt to attack you. During this process, the more thunder your defense can withstand, the richer the reward will be. Let's start preparing. Tens of thousands of people in the audience were shocked unexpectedly. The star official would ignore the request of the people of Wuhun, and he also said forcefully, "I have nothing to do with the life and death of Wuhun. Destiny Star officials only open Star Official Challenges for those who are destined. It will not be tilted because of anyone or any force. This is the gospel for everyone in Douluo Continent, no matter if it is the aloof title Douluo or ordinary people who cannot practice. All are likely to be selected by Lucky Star Feather. Accept the challenge of star officials and get chance rewards." Unknowingly, Lin Feng's image in the minds of tens of thousands of people has become tall, majestic and sacred. Yuguan saw the reddish eyes of the saint. Depressed, can only say, the majesty of a star official cannot be humiliated, and cannot be offended, otherwise we will be members of the Spirit Hall in the future. I'm afraid I don't even think about accepting the Star Officer's Challenge. At this point, we can only pray that Tang Hao is seriously injured, can't get high rating rewards, or like Yu Xiagang did yesterday, not even reaching the lowest C rating. All titled Douluo looked at each other. Although they belonged to the Pope's Hall and the Hall of Enshrinement, but ideas coincided with each other on the ring. Tang Hao sat cross-legged with blood in his mouth. He yelled frantically, Tang Hao, only have this chance to stand up. Then, come on, blast ring. P.S. The second update, 2/4, let me tell you, the previous reward Liu Erlong received was modified, the Great Return Pill was gone, and the Haoshan Martial Soul Pill became Variant Haoshan Martial Soul Pill. Chapter 33 Haoshan Jidra Yuzaju, Tang Hao won the B rating reward Great Repayment Pill, and the people in Wuhun panicked on the ring. The seriously injured Tang Hao sat here. Suddenly, around him, 9 soul rings rose up, yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, 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 and red. When the 9th red 100,000-year soul ring lit up, an extremely terrifying spirit ring breath swept over. Suppressed tens of thousands of soul masters present. Even Yuguan, Ghost, Shenglong and other titled Douluo elders ring. However, although a 100,000-year spirit ring is strong, if you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, It means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Period. But it couldn't restore Tang Hao's dilapidated body at this moment. His soul power has changed from level 95. Dropped to just over level 70. And it keeps falling. The staff of Wuhun Temple secretly delighted when they saw this scene. If Tang Hao's strength can plummet because of this at this moment, that it exploded. The 9 soul rings turned into a majestic golden soul power. An energy shield condensed on Tang Hao's body surface. Protect his weaker body. Yu Guan and Gimli saw such a scene. The feeling is very familiar. The two looked at each other in shock. Soul ring on its body, gained great power in a short time. Tang Hao is fighting to the death. It actually detonated 9 soul rings and used the last soul power, move Hao Shinjuju, Yuzaju. Yu Guan's words made all the titled Douluo elders look pale. Hao Xianzong is the #1 enemy of Wuhun Temple and they are naturally aware of the Hao Shin School's unique skills like exploding ring and Hao Shinjuju. Only the inheritors of each sect can practice, and these unique skills are also Tang Hao's strongest cards on the ring. Tang Hao sat cross-legged. He tried his last strength regardless of the consequences. Use ring explosion and Hao Shinjuju. Yuzaju. A layer of golden energy shield finally condensed on the surface of the body. Even if you detonate the soul power obtained by detonating 9 soul rings now, not enough to help me recover 50% of my strength. My current physical condition is really bad. Tang Hao looked at the purple light filing the sky. Lucky Xingaiyu who is condensing the power of thunder. He smiled miserably and said, forget it, there's only so much I can do. Ultimately, life or death is up to God, by fate. The next moment, the lucky star feather moved. A burst of purple thunder blasted towards Tang Hao below. Spread along with a roaring sound. The golden energy shield successfully resisted it. Ever since, Lucky Xingaiyu brood energy spread, a violent hurricane was set off around, roaring endlessly. The golden energy shield on Tang Hao's surface still resisted the attack. It's just that the light above is obviously dimmed a little. Lucky Xingaiyu continued to accumulate energy. After a few seconds, 5 purple thunderbolts descended in unison almost at the same time. It fell on the golden energy shield. It caused a burst of dazzling purple aurora, which was extremely dazzling. After the light dissipated, dense cracks appeared on the golden energy shield. But the golden light is still there. This means that Tang Hao has withstood 9 lightning attacks inside the energy shield. Tang Hao showed joy. All the muscles in his body are now stiff and lifeless. Soul power is also exhausted. Various injuries erupted. He has completely become a dying person, and his eyelids are as heavy as 1,000 weights. Be changed. Miracles happen. Rumble. Rumble. From within Lucky Star Feather, deafening sounds resounded. Then, 9 thunderbolts flew out. Shades the entire sky purple, carrying the power of destruction. He fell towards Tang Hao. For a moment, the staff on the Wuhun Temple side were extremely excited. How I wish Tang Hao could be hacked to death directly. Tens of thousands of soul masters were sweating for Tang Hao. Finally, 9 purple thunderbolts engulfed Tang Hao. A shocking power of energy spread out. Seeing that it is about to cause a large number of deaths, at a critical moment, Lin Feng opened his calm eyes. The power of the formation surged while waving. Restrain the remaining prestige so as not to leak out of the arena. Haoshin Douluo, is he dead? Among the purple light all over the sky, everyone couldn't see the situation on the ring clearly. The staff on the Wuhun Temple side all sneered. Judging from the degree of damage to the golden energy shield just now, it is impossible to resist the attack of the 9 thunderbolts. Tang Hao will definitely die. Liena breathed a sigh of relief and sneered, Tang Hao, oh Tang Hao, this is what happens when you fight against my spirit hall. But her words fell. Yu Guan stared at the dissipated purple light on the ring, and exclaimed, it's not right. Why is the energy shield still there? How can this be? How come there are 3 soul bones on Tang Hao's body, 2 yuan in 60,000 years, 1 piece, 100,000 years? Immediately, countless shocking voices rang out from under the ring. Because Tang Hao in the ring passed out even though he passed out. But the golden energy shield on his body is still there. It's just that it's already dilapidated, missing a slap-sized opening. And in 3 places on his left leg, and right arm, a dazzling light is emerging. There are 3 extremely high-quality spirit bones. Especially the soul bone on the right leg exuded a soft blue light. The breath of life revealed reached the level of 100,000 years. Immediately, the soul power of the energy shield was exhausted and dissipated. The purple light of the lucky star feather in the sky faded away. Fixiang Lin Feng was put away. At the same time, a red text appeared in his mind. Character, Tang Hao, defense level, 16 thunderbolts, rating, B, reward, 9 turn great returning pill, Jiazungahuandan. After taking it, it can heal all injuries, stimulate the body's potential, and improve strength. Remarks, don't give away. Lin Feng looked at the system information that appeared in his mind. Look in front of you again because the challenge is over. Tang Hao, who was recovering from the damage caused by the ring explosion and his soul power, slowly opened his mouth and said, period. Tang Hao, congratulations on withstanding 16 thunder attacks, rated B, reward a 9-turn great return pill. It can help you recover from injuries, activate your potential and improve your strength. Then, a black ball of light appeared in his hand. Flying in front of Tang Hao, it turned into a pill imprinted with ancient runes. Be in such a serious state of injury. Also received a B rating. It directly broke the record for the highest rating of the Star Official Challenge so far. Under the ring, Feng Zai Ocean discovered that the defense in the air challenged the Golden Monument. His first place was replaced. Bitter smiled. It's not a shame to be taken away by Haoshan Douluo, Liena, Yuguan, Shenglong and other Wuhundian titled Douluo. Tang Hao not only survived the thunder, also awarded with a rating of B, a circulation pill that can heal injuries and improve strength. Tang Hao must not be rewarded. Yuguan, Giga, Shenglong and others all looked at Liena. Yuguan said in a deep voice, Nana, now I can only rely on you. Liena shook her head in confusion, and glanced at the silver-haired man on the ring. He sighed and said, Grandpa Ju, all elders, not rewarding Tang Hao. Holy Dragon Douluo stepped forward and said, Saint, I've heard about you and Senior before. Since the Senior is willing to give you 3 consecutive chances to accept the Star Officer's Challenge, then he must be biased toward you. The top priority is to prevent Tang Hao from getting rewards, otherwise wait for him to take the 9-turn great returning pill, recover from his injuries, and improve his strength. That would be a huge disaster for the entire Spirit Hall. Why don't you hurry up and ask Senior? It's better to try than sit and wait. Seeing that everyone was staring at her, Liena could only bite her lips and nod. For the sake of Wuhundian, she is going all out. I saw her stepping forward and trotting towards the arena. Who would have thought? But when he was on the edge of the ring formation, he was shocked back. Liena was stunned. She didn't expect that the arena formation that she could pass through at will yesterday would keep her out this time. And the silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the arena also closed his eyes at this time. The girl's heart skipped a beat, and panic and sadness appeared in her eyes. Unwillingly shouted, I hope that Senior will take back the reward given to Tang Hao, my Spirit Hall. However, Liena didn't finish her words. A powerful formation force blasted her away, with blood overflowing from the corner of her mouth. Nana, Yuguan appeared in time to catch her in the air. It was found that Liena was unconscious and her face was pale. On the other side, on the ring, Tang Hao finally woke up, and grabbed the 9 Revolutions Great Return pill in front of him. Excitedly said, Ian, thank you for saving me at a critical moment. With this 9-rank Great Return pill, Tang Hao, can finally return to the top. Immediately, Tang Hao swallowed the 9 Revolutions Great Return pill. Blood and flowed through the whole body. All the injuries he passed were healed, and the potential of the body was stimulated to the greatest extent. P.S. The third update, March 4th. Chapter 34, Tang Hao recovers from injury, 1 against 8, refuses Chen Xin's help, mutates the Haoshan Wuhun pill in the arena. There was a terrifying vitality, astonishing speed, and the breath of soul power continued to rise in the blink of an eye. He rose from Soul King to Soul Sage, Contra then to title Douluo, until level 95. This was the level at which Tang Hao's soul power had not yet fallen before accepting the challenge from the Star Official. However, the next moment, under the continuous stimulation of vitality, his physical potential has been further tapped. In the past 3 years, his soul power, which had been stagnant due to injuries, broke through to level 96. In one fell swoop, the Soul Master has cultivated from level 95 to level 98. It is called Super Douluo. The huge gap in strength between each level makes it difficult to practice. Some people will be stuck at level 95 throughout their lives, unable to comprehend and break through level 96. But Tang Hao, after taking the 9-turn Great Returning Pill, not only did his soul power return to the peak level of 95, on this basis, it was upgraded by 1 level, reaching level 96. 9-turn Great Repayment Pill. It is worthy of the reward given by the B rating. It is simply against the sky. Tang Hao's injuries have fully recovered. The breath was not as weak as it was before, but became calm and introverted. Old wounds that have been tormenting me for years, really fully recovered. Tang Hao opened his eyes, his sharp eyes revealed, and he said excitedly, moreover, my soul power has returned to the peak level of 95, and it is even further, level 96. His mood at this moment is extremely complicated. Today is really a big ups and downs, and he is close to death. Tang Hao's tall and burly body slowly stood up, as if the god of war had awakened, with a mighty aura that shook all directions. Feeling the recovery of the injury in the body, and the powerful soul power contained in the body, a happy expression appeared on his face. He knelt down on both knees towards the silver-haired man on the futon, and kowtowed 3 times. Tang Hao clasped his fists with both hands, and said respectfully, Tang Hao, thank you senior for giving me the opportunity to challenge the star official. Let me regain my new life, recover from my injuries and have my current strength. From now on, Tang Hao's life is senior's. After I level the Wuhun Palace, I will come back to follow the senior. His last word fell. He knocked his head 3 times, rings again. It's just that the silver-haired man in front of him is meditating with his eyes closed from the beginning to the end. No response. Tang Hao didn't care about these, and stood up suddenly. He looked at all the titled Douluo in Wuhan Hall who looked dignified under the ring. 9 Soul rose from under his feet and said with a sneer, you 8 running dogs of the Spirit Hall, don't be afraid of death, go to the outskirts of the Star Dao Forest and fight to the death with me. Tang Hao, a Haotian hammer with surging red light appeared in Tang Hao's hand. He jumped into the air and flew towards the periphery. On the side of Wuhundian, there are 5 elders, Yuguan and Ghost, Ghost Leopard, Demon Bear, and Sea Turtle, Jiangmo, and Qianjin. The 8 people looked at each other and nodded. Yuguan was the first to say, go and kill Tang Hao first, don't let him escape. After I send Nana to a safe place, go and join you. The other 7 people's faces were solemn, and 9 soul rings rose from their feet and exploded with all their strength to chase and kill Tang Hao. Yuguan flew away from the other side with Liena. Hao's fighting power was already terrifying. Now accept the challenge of the star official and get the 9-turn great return pill. Healing from injuries has raised his soul power to level 96. We must take advantage of this time to jointly kill him, otherwise, if Tang Hao is allowed to leave, it will definitely lead to catastrophe in the future. Not long after, in the outer air then you can see Tang Hao's huge Haotian real body condensed holding a phantom of the clear sky hammer condensed with red murderous aura during the siege of the 7 titled Douluo. Period. Constantly break through, the more you fight, the braver you are. Haotian Jinju, Great Sumeru Hammer, Lingshan One Strike and other Haotian's unique skills emerge endlessly. As a result, no matter how the 7 titled Douluo elders of Wuhundian attacked, they couldn't kill Tang Hao, and could only suppress it with their numerical advantage. Until Ju Douluo Yuguan came to join them. Together with Ghost Douluo and Ghost, they performed the martial soul fusion technique bipolar stationary field. Tang Hao was finally defeated, and gradually suffered more injuries, but he is still holding the clear sky hammer, unleashing the ultimate power of each blow, so that every opponent will be severely injured if he is knocked or touched. At this time, a huge 7 treasures glazed pagoda flew from a distance. The incomparable power of amplification was blessed on Tang Hao. It made him explode with astonishing power. One blow of the big Sumeru hammer blows all the opponents away. Hao held the Haotian hammer in his hand and stood in the air. Seeing Sword Douluo Chenzin fly with his sword. With Ning Fengzi, the patriarch of the 7 treasure glazed tile school, and the crown prince of the Heaven Dao Empire, Zhu King rushed over. Yuguan angrily threatened, Sect Master Ning, Sword Dao Chengxin, are you really going to make enemies of my spirit hall for Tang Hao? Have you considered the consequences? The rest of the title Douluo also stopped. Far away from Tang Hao, Iao glared at Chenzin and the 3 of them. Ning Fengzi held the jeweled crutch in his hand, and said in a deep voice, the 7 treasure glazed tile school has always been at odds with the Wuhun Palace. It was originally a hostile relationship. Moreover, Clear Sky Douluo is Tang San's father. The 7 treasure glazed tile school has always been at odds with the Wuhun Palace. Sect, will definitely go through this muddy water today. Chenzin separated 2 7-kill swords, and asked Ning Fengzi and Zhu King to stand on them and keep flying. Flying towards Tang Hao alone, said, Haotian Douluo, today I, Chengxin, will fight side by side with you. I don't like this group of guys in Wuhundian. The 6th soul skill, Wanjian returns to the sect. Chenzin pointed to the sky with one hand, and her level 96 soul power surged summons a sky-sharp sword attacked in the direction of Yu Guan and others. Ning Fengzi lightly shook the crutch in his hand, and said in a concentrated voice. 7 treasures turn out Liuli, 1 day power, Sen Yu soul, 6 Yu skills. 3 colorful rays of light fell on Chen Xin, increases his strength by 80%. This is the terrifying increase brought by the number 1 assistant soul master in the mainland, the 8 titled Douluo at the Wuhan Hall, wherein a panic can only be tired of using soul skills to defend, and have no time to counterattack. On top of the 7 killing sword. When Zhu King saw this scene, an imperceptible ruthlessness flashed in his eyes when looking at Ning Fengzi. It turned into killing intent, but one can think of the plan that has been arranged for Wuhun, and for many years he could only forcefully suppress this killing intent. Tang Hao saw the person from the 7 treasure glazed tile school, the clear sky hammer in his hand swung in front of him. Zhen Xing said, "Thank you Sect Master Ning and Sword Douluo for your help, but this is the grievance between me, Tang Hao, and Wuhun. I want to solve it myself." After the words fell, he released his breath to the greatest extent. It made Chen Xin's face not far away change slightly. After pondering for a moment, he returned to Ning Fengzi and Zhu King, and said, "Fengzi, since Haoshan Douluo doesn't want us to take action, you can't force it either. Let's hurry to the inner circle of the Star Dao Forest." Judging from the ranking on the golden tablet, today's 3 challengers should have completed the challenge. Ning Fengzi nodded, and looked at Zhu King behind him. Circle of Star Dao Forest. Tang Hao was immediately surrounded by 8 people including Yu Guan. Immediately with a cold smile, the 9 spirit rings were detonated. Gain supreme power and start the final battle, inner circle. On the ring Lin Feng looked around Tang Hao with 1 against 8. A battle with the 8 titled Douluo of Wuhun, and appreciating it with gusto, he exclaimed, "Tang Hao's strength is really a bug in Douluo world. In the original book, he was at Jialing Pass. At level 97 he activated a ring explosion and struck with all his strength, being evaluated by Bibi Dong, who has become a Rakshasa god, as an attack close to a god. It's a glorious defeat." Under the arena, tens of thousands of soul masters were also watching the battle. Most people looked at Tang Hao with admiration. He was like an undefeated god of war. In the battle with the 8 titled Douluo elders of Wuhun, he was invincible. Once upon a time, Tang Hao was dying, seriously injured and unable to fight. But because it was rated B, I got a 9-turn great returning pill, and after taking it, not only my injuries recovered, but my soul power was also raised to level 96. The opportunity rewards given by the Star Official Challenge really make countless people envious. In the arena, because of burning vitality, Liu Erlong, who accepted the spiritual challenge in exchange for a surge in combat power, woke up with a frown. She staggered to her feet. His head, he came to the front of the futon and saluted respectfully. "Senior, I should have completed the challenge just now. What rating reward did I get?" Lin Feng looked back at Liu Erlong, who was still weak in front of him, and said, "Liu Erlong, your mental strength has reached 144,656 points, rated C+, just shy of a B rating. This is your reward, a mutated Haoshan Martial Soul Pill. After taking it, you can get a mutated Clear Sky Hammer Martial Soul. The variant Haoshan Martial Soul Pill can be given as a gift." After Lin Feng finished speaking, he squeezed out a blue ball of light and flew in front of Liu Erlong. At the pill in front of him, an excited smile appeared on his weak face. She hastily stretched out her hand, tremblingly catched the mutated Haoshan Martial Soul Pill, and regarded it as a treasure. The purpose of her trip to accept the Star Officer's challenge it is to obtain the elixir that can solve the problem of Wuhan for use Iagang. It just so happened that this mutated Haoshan Martial Soul Pill met the conditions. "Thank you, Senior." "Thank you, Senior." Liu Erlong put away the mutated Haoshan Martial Soul Pill. He bowed deeply to the silver-haired man. All previous prejudice against him turned into awe at this moment. Suddenly, she seemed to think of something. With an anxious face, he asked, "Dare to ask, Senior, this mutated Haoshan Martial Soul Pill, is it 100% guaranteed that the Wuhan will mutate in a good direction after taking it?" The Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex Martial Soul. Period. Developed in a bad direction, and Liu Erlong's own fire dragon spirit. It is the blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex Wuhan that is mutating and developing in a good direction. Lin Feng's calm expression paused for a moment. He quickly turned on the system, check out the detailed introduction about mutated Haoshan Martial Soul Pill. It was found that there was no record about the direction of variation above, so he coughed lightly to ease the embarrassment, and said, "Liu Erlong, this mutated Haoshan Martial Soul Pill you got, the Haoshan Hammer mutated spirit obtained after taking it, There's a 99% chance it's going to go in a good direction. You can rest assured about this." Liu Erlong heaved a sigh of relief when he heard these words. "Distance, Erlong, I brought Xiaogang here. Congratulations on accepting the Star Officer's Challenge. Climb to the top of the Spirit Challenge Golden Monument and rank first." Liu Erlong looked up with a dazed expression. It turned out to be Flender. He brought several students from Shrek Academy to carry the stretcher. Lying flat on it was a man covered in bandages. Just solved the martial soul problem on the opponent. She was facing the silver-haired man on the futon. He bowed deeply and said, "Senior, I have accepted this Star Officer's Challenge. There is an urgent matter here, and there will be a period later." Lin Feng glanced at Yu Xiaogang on the stretcher in the distance back. "Take out a food box from the soul guide and push it over." Respectfully said, "Senior, I specially prepared some pastries before going out last night. If seniors don't dislike it, you can try it." After the words fell, she couldn't wait to rush down the ring. Yu Xiaogang rushed towards Flender in the distance. Lin Feng took the food box and opened it. A seductive fragrance hits the face. Carefully, eyes narrowed into a line. Very satisfied, with a look of enjoyment, Lin Feng has no resistance to delicious food while eating the cake. He looked at Liu Erlong, who was going away, murmured, "Sure enough, my sister is more mature than my younger sister, and her skills are better. The cakes made by Liena are incomparable to those made by Liu Erlong. These days, there are not many women who can cook, and there are not many women who can do it. A good woman like Liu Erlong. It's really a pity to stay with Yu Xiaogang." Lin Feng ate all the pastries and licked his fingers for fear that the world will not be in chaos. He said with a bad smile, "Variation Haoshin Martial Soul Pill. Don't let me down." Immediately, he put the food box into the system space. "Close your eyes and sit in meditation." "Boss Fu, why did you bring Xiaogang here? Don't you know that his injuries haven't recovered yet? I'm really going to be mad at you." After Liu Erlong arrived, he put his hands on his hips and glared at Flender with fierce eyes. The female Tyrannosaurus is about to enter rampage mode. Flender took a step back in horror. He was afraid of Liu Erlong, so he explained, "Erlong, don't get excited. Actually, Xiaogang asked me to bring him here to find you. Say that you are worried that you will be bullied by your seniors. No matter what I say, he just won't listen. If I don't bring him here and force him to die, I can't help it." Liu Erlong gave Flender a blank look. The displeasure in his eyes dissipated, and he muttered, "Senior is so upright and noble. Open Star official challenges for others every day and distribute rewards. How could he bully me?" Came to the stretcher, excitedly looking at Yu Xiaogang lying on it. He took his hand joyfully and said, "Xiaogang, I am, with the help of my seniors, started the spiritual challenge, awarded a C+ rating. I got a mutated Haoshin Martial Soul Pill. As long as you take it, you can get a mutated Clear Sky Hammer Martial Soul." Anger. He hated Lin Feng to the bone. Wasn't yesterday a request to change the Star official challenge type? He even forcibly deprived himself of the martial spirit in his body. Yu Xiaogang heard with his own ears that Liena also proposed to change the type of Star official challenge. But it was just a few words of reprimand. He has always held a grudge about it. I think Lin Feng is a womanizer. The inner circle of Star Dao Forest. It was because he was worried that Lin Feng would plot against Liu Erlong. Yu Xiaogang saw from a distance that Liu Erlong was imitating Liena from yesterday. "Send cakes to Lin Feng." Immediately burst into rage. Especially seeing Lin Feng's satisfied expression while eating the pastries. "I just feel a piece of green on the top of my head." "Seniors on the right," a senior shouted, so naturally, still talking to Lin Feng all the time. Yu Xiaogang gritted his teeth angrily. "My lungs are about to explode." He was about to open his mouth to reprimand Liu Erlong for not being a woman, but I heard her say that she had obtained the mutated Haoshin Wuhun Pill after taking it. You can get a mutated Clear Sky Hammer Martial Soul. The inner anger completely disappeared. Nothing is as important as him regaining his martial soul. What's more, it is the Clear Sky Hammer, which is known as the first martial arts weapon in the mainland. Yu Xiaogang has already started to dream of winning the title of Haoshin in the future. "Erlong, what about the spirit pill you mentioned? Give it to me quickly." Yu Xiaogang was very excited. All his thoughts are now on Wuhun Pill. Liu Erlong was not found to be in a tired and weak state. Liu Erlong felt very uncomfortable and a little sad. In order to get a higher rating, he burned his vitality and narrowly escaped death. The man didn't even have a word of concern. Liu Erlong frowned. He took out the mutated Haoshin Martial Soul Pill and handed it over, saying, "Xiaogang, this is the variant Haoshin Martial Soul Pill," Senior said. After taking it, however, she wasn't done yet. The Wuhun pill in his hand was snatched by Yu Zhiagang. He hurriedly stuffed it into his and swallowed it. The next moment, the elixir released a majestic medicinal power. Instantly healed all his injuries. Yu Zhiagang got off the stretcher with a happy expression on his face. Holding it hard with his right hand, it condensed into palm-sized shape. It was like a pocket Haoshin hammer, like a child's toy. Zhiagang was stunned. There is nothing wrong with having an extra clear sky hammer martial soul in the body, but why does it feel wrong? Liu Erlong looked at the clear sky hammer in Yu Zhiagang's hand. Looking anxious and flustered, he said, "How did it become like this? Senior has clearly said that there is a 99% chance that the Wuhan mutation will develop in a good direction." Flender was also shocked and said, "Zhiagang, this mutated clear sky hammer in your hand is really strange. You have seen a lot. Can you see what's going on?" Yu Zhiagang shook his head angrily. Staring at Liu Erlong, he shouted coldly, "Erlong, you can't be colluding with that guy. Deliberately use this martial soul pill to trick me. After I took Wuhan pill, my body became very strange. Also, this mutated clear sky hammer is not a good thing at first sight." Yu Zhiagang was dazzled by anger. For a moment, he didn't realize that his voice had changed into a delicate female voice when talking. He kept pinching the orchid finger with his left hand and kept making gestures. Even his demeanor began to look feminine. Suddenly, Liu Erlong and Flender. There are also several Shrek students around. They all looked at Yu Zhiagang in shock, like looking at a monster. Yu Zhiagang finally reacted. His face changed drastically, and the pink Haoshin hammer in his right hand disappeared. He covered his face with his hands and looked terrified. He cried out in bewilderment, "Second dragon, how could..." But as soon as the voice came out, it was a delicate female voice again. Liu Erlong, Flender, and the surrounding Shrek students all dropped their jaws in shock. Yu Zhiagang took the mutated Haoshin Wuhan pill. The mutation of the Haoshin hammer's martial soul was developing in a bad direction, causing his gender to change. P.S. The first change, 1/4, the author updates a lot every day, so it is inevitable that there will be some typos. I hope you can comment when you see it, and I can correct it immediately, please. Chapter 36. Yu Zhiagang, who is neither male nor female, must get the fruit of gender, and the golden monument issues rewards. Liu Erlong looked at the orchid fingers in front of his eyes. Yu Zhiagang, who has begun to become feminine no matter his posture or expression. Her heart skipped a beat. Endless regret welled up in my heart. Why did it become like this? Why? Liu Erlong's anxious eyes were red at a loss. Yu Zhiagang could no longer suppress the anger in his heart. Holding the orchid with his left hand, he pointed at Liu Erlong and cursed, "Erlong, don't put on a show here. Do you still want to play tricks on me? I've seen through everything. It's you and that scumbag. Use this mutated Haoshin martial soul pill to harm me, Erlong. I really misread you." Yu Zhiagang's voice attracted the attention of many soul masters around him. My god, how could that man have a woman's voice? Pinched the orchid finger back, speaking in a strange way. This can't be a pervert. Isn't this Yu Zhiagang, the national teacher of the Heaven Dao Empire? How did he become so male or female? Damn it, what the hell did I see? It's so disgusting, I can't help it. Vomit. As more and more soul masters gathered around, Yu Zhiagang's face turns blue and white. Can't wait to find a dog hole to get in. The fame of the first life was ruined like this. Liu Erlong, I will hate you forever. Yu Zhiagang shouted these words hoarsely. Turn around and push the crowd away quickly. I don't want to be pointed at like a monster anymore. Zhiagang, I didn't. You misunderstood me. In order to get this mutated Haoshin martial soul pill, I don't hesitate to challenge the spirit, burning vitality, narrowly escape death. How could I hurt you? Sad tears flowed from the corners of Liu Erlong's eyes. She was about to go after Yu Zhiagang. Stopped by Flender, he said anxiously, Erlong, don't go looking for Zhiagang yet. He's very emotional right now. Let me take someone over there to have a look. Care of yourself. I'll feel sorry for you if you wear yourself out. After Flender finished speaking, he pushed his gold-rimmed glasses. Show what you think is the most handsome smile. Turn around and take a few Shrek students to chase Yu Zhiagang on the spot. Liu Erlong wiped the tears from the corners of his eyes. He looked at the silver-haired man on the futon in the arena from a distance. He breathed heavily. I didn't expect Zhiagang's luck to be so bad. There's only a 1% chance that the Wuhan mutation will develop in a bad direction. It was actually stepped on by him. Yesterday, Liena won the second place in the Attack Challenge Golden Monument. B+ rating rewards can be selected from 10 attribute directions. A reward for picking a direction. There is an attribute direction in it that is gender. Liu Erlong looked up at the Spiritual Challenge Golden Monument above the sky, murmured, I don't know if I can make it before midnight. Keep the spirit to challenge the second place at least in the Golden Monument. Xiaogang became what he is now because of me. I must get a gender fruit so that he can regain his manly body. After the woman finished speaking, she left here immediately. She who chose to burn her vitality is very weak at this time. On the ring, Lin Feng closed his eyes and meditated. Suddenly felt a breath of tidal Douluo approaching here. So he opened a gap in the corner of his eye and looked. It was discovered that Chen Xin in the air brought Zhu King and Ning Fengzi down to the edge of the ring on the original basis. Reached level 96. It is also relying on one's own strength. Fight with 8 tidal Douluo elders in Wuhan Hall. Even being at a disadvantage is extremely terrifying. Those are the 8 tidal Douluo elders of the Spirit Hall. At the same time, Zhu King also discovered that under the ring, Duke Long was actually fusing 100,000-year soul bone 90. Could it be Duke Long accepting the Star Officials challenge? Did you get the reward? Zhu King was very envious in his heart. She knows better than anyone else how rare and precious 100,000-year spirit bone is into an angel suit. The age of the soul bone has been raised to the level of 100,000 years. Ning Fengzi and Chen Xin also noticed something strange about Duke Long. The three of them are very eager for the Star Official challenge. It's a pity that lucky stars are hard to find. Then he looked at the silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the ring. His eyes were full of the ring formation. Zhu King saluted respectfully and said, Prince of the Heaven Dao Empire, Zhu King, following the order of Emperor Zui, I came to pay my respects to Senior. From around for the Star Official to challenge such a great opportunity, it can only raise the voice a little bit. Continued to shout, Prince of the Heaven Dao Empire, Zhu King, following the order of Emperor Zui, I came to pay my respects to Senior. However, still no response. Some discussions inevitably sounded around behind Zhu King, Ning Fengzi and Chen Xin. His face became a little ugly. Zhu King's face remained unchanged, and he took a deep breath. Saluted again and said, Zhu King, pay my respects to Senior. The next moment, although Lin Feng on the ring did not open his eyes, but he said in a deep voice, What's the matter? Hasn't finished speaking yet. Lin Feng's expression turned cold, and he shouted, Get lost. Immediately, a terrifying formation power erupted. Blow Zhu King, Ning Fengzi, and Chen Xin away. 100 meters away, Chen Xin can protect Zhu King and Ning Fengzi. At this moment, fear appeared in the sharp eyes. Chen Xin's first thought was that this person's strength was quite terrifying. Even the one from the angel family is no match. Feng Xiaoshan hurried over, saluted and said, Feng Xiaoshan, pay homage to His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, greetings to Sect Master Ning, and His Majesty Sword Douluo, the Holy Maiden of the Spirit Hall, who Liena, was here before. I implore seniors not to distribute rewards to Tang Hao, even lift out the Spirit Hall behind you. He was directly beaten into serious injury by the senior and passed out. Senior also said, What does the life and death of Wuhun Tian have to do with me? So I hope His Highness the Crown Prince will be cautious in his words and deeds. Remember not to offend seniors, otherwise the consequences will be disastrous. Catastrophe at this time. Duke Long and others came over. Duke Long saluted with his walking stick in his hand and said, Meng Shu, Duke Long, I have met His Royal Highness the Crown Prince. I've seen Sect Master Ning. I've seen Sword Douluo, a soul ring. I should be grateful. Chen Xin has long discovered that Duke Long's soul power is level 90, and he still has a 100,000-year-old soul bone. Nodding towards Ning Fengzi and Zhu King. The 7 treasure glazed tile skull makes many friends. Duke Long is naturally qualified. Not to mention that he also ranked second in the spiritual challenge gold monument. Maybe you can still get high rating rewards. As for spying on the 100,000-year-old soul bone, Chen Xin didn't have the guts to take the risk. If he accidentally offends Senior, the 7 treasure glazed tile school will suffer. A group of people went deep into the mixed area of the Star Dao Forest. There is Luo Chengxin, a level 96 sword fighter, and Ning Fengzi, the number 1 assistant soul master in the mainland. Duke Long successfully absorbed a 90,000-year soul ring. Promoted to title Douluo and reached level 91. Night falls. The midnight hour has come. The surrounding area of the ring in the Star Dao Great Forest at this time, the number of soul masters gathered exceeded 100,000. Although today's 3-star official challenges are all over, but there is one more important event, that is to challenge the Golden Monument ranking rewards. Defense challenged Feng Xiaoshan, who took second place in the Golden Tablet, to stay for 3 full days. Spirit challenged Liena, who ranked third in the Golden Tablet, to stay for 3 days. All of them will be rewarded with a first place A+ rating, second place B+ rating award, third place C+ rating award. PS. The second update, February 4th. Chapter 37 Choose the Fruit of Aptitude. Huao's innate soul power is 30th level. Xiao's old Jack Kinming is selected by Zhengyu late at night. In the sky 3 challenging golden monuments are suspended. There are 3 types of attack, defense and spirit. Period. At this time, the spirit challenged the golden tablet. The word Liena in the third place turned red. Defense challenge on the golden tablet. 100,000 people gathered around the arena. They all showed longing and anticipation. On the futon of the ring, Lin Feng opened his eyes. The majestic voice spread like a loud voice and said, Liena won the third place in the spiritual challenge golden monument, now distribute C+ rating rewards, a 10-year longevity pill. Then, in his hand, a sign light flew out. It flew over the tens of thousands of soul masters in the audience. Zhu King, Ning Fengzi, Chen Xin Duke Long, Mrs. Snake, Meng Yiren Feng Xia Ocean, Ho Wu and the others all showed excited expressions. Unexpectedly, the C+ rating would give an elixir to increase longevity. People have birth, old age, sickness and death, and their lifespan is limited, and this Shaoyin pill, as the name suggests, can increase one's lifespan by 10 years. No one in this world can resist the temptation. The soul masters at the scene felt a strong vitality emanating from the Shaoyin pill. All of them became red-faced and extremely crazy. How I wish this Shaoyin pill could belong to me. However, the 10 years longevity pill circled around in the crowd. In the end, he flew back to the front of the ring futon. Such a scene made everyone show puzzled expressions. Lin Feng took the Shaoyin pill in front of him in his hand. He frowned and said to himself, Liena didn't come to accept the award, it shouldn't be. I remembered, during the day, she was too wordy and I knocked her out. This is just right, save a reward. Immediately, he stuffed the 10 years longevity pill into his arms. Ning Sheng said, because Liena didn't come to accept the award, the reward is void. Continue to issue other rewards for challenging the golden monument. For a moment, Lin Feng's words made the audience quiet down. Everyone froze for an instant. Unexpectedly, Liena missed the precious Shaoyin pill in this way. What a waste of money. They can't wait to rush to the ring to accept the award instead of Liena. And afraid of being directly beaten to death by the seniors. On the stage, Lin Feng announced, Feng Xia Ocean won the second place in the defense challenge to the golden monument, flew out transformed into a red tree in the air. It exudes a strong mysterious power, and there are 10 fruits on it. Above the sky, the defense challenges the golden monument. Golden light fell down, covering Feng Xia Ocean in the crowd. The holiness and purity that set him off. Wrapped by mysterious power, he flew to Hongshu. Becoming the focus of everyone's attention, everyone is envious. Lin Feng's voice continued to sound, Feng Xia Ocean, reward for B+ rating, by yourself, in martial soul, soul power, and aptitude, attack, defense, soul, longevity, spirit, appearance, gender. Choose one of these 10 directions. You have a minute to choose. After Lin Feng finished speaking, he was surrounded by mangroves in the night sky. A defensive formation enchantment was raised, and the golden light soared into the sky at the side of the ring. Everyone was staring at the mangrove tree in the sky. 10 fruits of different breaths born on it. It seems to have a fatal attraction, which affects everyone's heartstrings. It is known that Liena chose the martial soul attribute last night. So I got a martial soul fruit. After taking it, you will get the second martial spirit, the god level 9-tailed demon fox. Everyone was very curious about what attribute direction Feng Xia Ocean would choose. Wait a minute, and what a miracle will happen. In the air, Feng Xia Ocean was shrouded in golden light. Looking at the mangrove tree in front of him, and the 10 fruits on it. Heart pounding faster. I didn't expect that I could get the reward of B+ rating. It's all so unreal. Feng Xia Ocean took a deep breath. He looked down at his girlfriend, Ho Wu, who was staring affectionately at him. Asked, Lin Feng nodded and said, speak. Feng Xia Ocean asked, Senior, the reward fruit I got, can I give it to others? As soon as these words came out, everyone stared at Feng Xia Ocean in disbelief. Think he must be crazy. This B+ rating reward was actually intended to be given to others. Lin Feng nodded without opening his mouth. Decision, reward selection, qualification direction. On the stage, Lin Feng nodded and said, no problem, Feng Xia Ocean, accept your fruit. The next moment, on the red tree protected by an enchantment in the sky, a red aptitude fruit drops. It flew into Feng Xia Ocean's hands. Then, The mangroves disappeared. A golden light in the sky gradually dimmed. It didn't take long to return to the previous state of darkness. Feng Xiaoshan held a palm-sized red fruit and landed on the ground. Hou Wu and nearby Du Glong, Meng Yer and Zhu King, Ning Fengzi and the others quickly surrounded them. Xiaoshan, congratulations on getting the reward of B+ rating, said. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Period. Hou Wu, I already have 2 martial spirits, and my innate soul power is level 10, so I want to give you this aptitude fruit. The 2 of us will be together forever, be stronger together, no one can be left behind. Hurry up and eat this aptitude fruit. Suddenly, everyone who approached was shocked. He looked at Hou Wu enviously. This is the aptitude fruit of B+ rating. The improvement that can be brought after eating is unimaginable. No one can resist such a temptation. Hou Wu looked at the red fruit handed over in front of her eyes. Looking at her boyfriend's gentle eyes. Her eyes were moist, and she was moved and said, Xiaoshan, thank you, I will never let you down. Hou Wu wiped away the tears from the corners of her eyes, under Feng Xiaoshan's encouraging gaze. Tremblingly, he stretched out his hand to take the fruit of aptitude mouth, and take a small bite. Suddenly, a terrifying aura erupted from Hou Wu's body. The whole person glows with a sacred golden light, soaring into the sky. Turned into a pillar of optimus light. It shut countless people present. Around Hou Wu, spiritual energy slowly gathered. Her body is like a sucker at a loss, not understanding what was going on. Hou Wu obviously ate the fruit of aptitude. Why does it cause the vision of heaven and earth? Which is shocking. Only Zhu King stared wide-eyed. His eyes were fixed on Hou Wu and the golden light. She could clearly feel that the other party originally only had 8th level innate soul power. Even in the moment of eating the fruit of aptitude, skyrocketed to surpass his own. Level 30 innate soul power. Level 30, you know, Zhu King. To be precise, its Jinring Sushi awakened the most powerful god-level seraph martial soul of the angel family, born with a 20th level innate full soul power. This made her pretend to be the crown prince. Even if she stayed in the Heaven Dao Empire, there is not much time to practice every day. The improvement of soul power far exceeds that of peers. After Hou Wu ate the aptitude fruit, her innate soul power soared to level 30. Jin Ringsu couldn't imagine how terrifying her cultivation speed would be in the future. Even after so many years of wasted time, it can also easily rise to the top. On the ring, Lin Feng stood up, slowly stretched arms with a palm spread out. 3 lucky star feathers exuding divine golden light appeared. 3 names are condensed on it: Xiao Wu, Jack, Qin Ming. Among the 3 who got lucky Xingyu this time, it actually includes Xiao Wu. She should be in the mixed zone by now. Is it protected by the Titan Giant Ape and the Azure Bull Python, Jack? The old village head Jack of Holy Soul Village. I didn't expect him to be chosen by lucky Xingyu. I don't know what type of rewards old Jack will unlock. The last Qin Ming from Shrek Academy. Lin Feng had a little impression of this guy entire arena and disappeared into the inner circle. P.S. The third update, March 4th. Chapter 38. Da Ming and Ming protect Xiao Wu to accept the Star Official Challenge. Tang Hao and Tang San take old Jack on the road. Starred out Great Forest, Inner Circle. The Optimus beam that lasted for more than 10 minutes finally disappeared. The howling wind and thunder stopped. Everything returned to calm. Do you feel now? Hou Wu plunged into his arms, joyfully said, Xiaoshan, my innate soul power has changed from the original 8th level, upgraded to level 30. For a moment, her words made Ning Fengzi around Chen Xin, Duke Long, Meng Yiren and others were shocked. It is well known that the innate soul power that exists on the mainland is up to 10th level. Unexpectedly, after Hou Wu ate the aptitude fruit, her innate soul power would increase to level 30. How terrifying! Meng Yiren looked at his best friend and said, Hou Wu, congratulations, innate soul power increased to level 30. Xiaoshan has twin martial souls, you two are a match made in heaven. Hou Wu left Feng Xiaoshan's arms. He hugged Meng Yiren and said, Yan, look at how envious you are. I believe that you will meet your own Prince Charming soon. Slightly red, he rolled his eyes at his best friend and said, Hou Wu, you are talking nonsense. I am not envious. Duke Long and Mrs. Snake at the side looked at Feng Xiaoshan. I am very sorry, such a loving, righteous, talented and extraordinary man. It's a pity that I can't become their grandson-in-law. Meng Yiren is not young anymore, and the major events in his life can worry. The 2 elders. Zhu King stepped forward and said with a smile, Hou Wu, Feng Xiaoshan, both of you are geniuses of the empire. When I go back, I will report the truth to my father, to Blazing Academy and Kamikaze Academy where you are, rewards and rewards. Wuhun and Feng Xiaoshan looked at each other and smiled. Quickly bowed and said, "Thank you, Your Royal Highness." At this time, Ning Fengzi leaned on a jeweled cane and said with a chuckle, "His Royal Highness, the seniors and the ring have left. Today's Star Official Challenge, the reward announcement has also ended. Let's go back to Heaven Dao City, report to His Majesty." Xin left here. The people nearby dispersed one after another. Period. The inner circle, which has been bustling all day, gradually quieted down. Starred out Great Forest, the core area official star, and the star feathers will disappear automatically when the time expires. Xiao Wu reacted. An excited smile appeared on the small face. "Hold Lucky Xingaiyu tightly in your hands." Seeing as a treasure said excitedly, "Duming, Erming, the Lake of Life." Looking at Xiao Wu, he sighed and said, "Miss Wu, are you really going to accept the Star Officer's Challenge?" Xiao Wu nodded and put away Lucky Xingaiyu. Looking at the 3 challenge gold monuments in the night sky, his eyes became firm and he said, "Accepting the Star Officer's Challenge will give you great opportunities, improve your strength and strengthen yourself. It's not easy for me, Xiao, to get such a precious opportunity. It must not be wasted in vain. I must go to the Dongai Soul Hunting Forest of the Star Luo Empire to accept the challenge from the star officials. In this way, we can see third brother as soon as possible." Missing thoughts appeared in Xiao Wu's eyes. The eye sockets are slightly red. Erming looked at Daming. The 200,000-year soul beasts hesitated for a while and nodded to each other. "Want to accept the Star Officer's Challenge? Then Daming and I will escort you there. It just so happens that the Donggaiyu Hunting Soul Forest borders the Star Dao Forest. Daming and I will bring more soul beasts there. If those soul masters who don't know how to live or die dare to hurt you, Miss Xiao, at worst, let's start a war. Daming and I have never been afraid of anyone." Xiao Wu happily hugged the head of the Titan Great Ape, smiling and moved. He said, "Duming, Erming, thank you." Back, however, he took a closer look and found Tang Hao clutching his chest. His body was covered in blood and his breathing was unstable. "Dad, how did you get such a serious injury?" "Sit down quickly, Dad, drink water." After Tang San supported his father to sit down, quickly poured a glass of water and handed it over. Tang Hao exhaled heavily. "Take the water glass and drink up the water in the glass." Then he patted his son on the shoulder. He laughed and said, "Little San, I'm fine." Lackeys of Wuhundian, Tang Hao was in a good mood when he said this is 1 against 8. Facing the 8 titled Douluo elders of Wuhan Hall, the last is design entrapment. "Otherwise, I am afraid it will be difficult to get out of the body. Father, you can come back safely, recover the injury. The strength will go further. It's really good. Let's leave here tomorrow. In case people from Wuhandian come here in the future, it hurt the people in the village." Tang San looked at his father and said worriedly. Tang Hao nodded. Suddenly, at this moment, a golden light shone from outside the house. So quickly rushed out of the house. An old man was found with a bamboo and wooden cane in his left hand. Holding a golden feather in his right hand, he marvels. It's old Jack, the village chief of Holy Soul Village. Old Jack raised his head when he saw someone coming. I happily patted my thighs a few times, and I was so happy. Excitedly said, "Little San, Tang Hao, I saw that the lights in your house are on in the middle of the night. Come and have a look. I didn't expect you two to really come back." Old Jack's eyes fell on Tang Hao. He leaned closer and sniffed with his nose, satisfied, nodded and said, "I don't smell of alcohol on me. It seems that you, Tang Hao, haven't gone to get drunk recently." "That's right. A father should be a little bit like a father. There should be a father's responsibility." Old Jack reprimanded Tang Hao as before, obviously very satisfied with Tang Hao's current changes. Tang Hao and Tang San's eyes fell on Lucky Xingaiyu. The two were shocked unexpectedly. Old Jack, the village chief, would be chosen by Lucky Xingaiyu. Tang San kindly with a puzzled look, he said, "Yes, little three, when I got this chicken feather, there was a voice in my head, let me go, to Donggaiyu of the Star Luo Empire, Donggaiyu Soul Hunting Forest." End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.